Present Big 12 football. Today on a gorgeous afternoon in Columbia, Missouri. From Faurot Field, it's the Missouri Tigers and the Aggies of Texas A&M. And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman. Well, last week, both of these schools were on the wrong end of 37-0 scores, but they still have plenty to play for. Missouri, with 2 wins, becomes bowl eligible. Texas A&M wants to gain some momentum going into their annual showdown with the Longhorns. Now, they had a distraction earlier this week. Their leading rusher the last couple of years, Dante Hall, was suspended from the football team. Let me bring in my partner, Dave Lapham, as always. And without Dante Hall, they're going to go with the jumbo backfield.
A quarter of a ton in the backfield. Touchdown, Tiki Hardeman is back at the fullback position. 31 career touchdowns, only 1 this season. Why? High ankle sprain. He's still not 100%. Big body, he's had a hard time recovering from it, but I'll tell you, he's a willing blocker, and 245 pounds, he will get it done. His partner in the backfield, Jamar Toombs at tailback, over 260 pounds. When he gets those shoulder pads squared up, he will move the pile at the line of scrimmage. Very quick feet, deceptive speed, but what a load these two present, I'll tell you.
Yeah, no fun for Missouri's defenders today trying to tackle those two guys. Missouri on offense all season long has had a 2-quarterback system until a couple of weeks ago when Kirk Farmer went down. So now Jim Doherty has a new partner. He's a true freshman in Justin Gage.
Have contrasting styles. Doherty is a coach's son, a tremendous feel for the game, a good sense of where to go with the football. On the flip side, Justin Gage has a howitzer hanging off that right shoulder. Very, very athletic. The different styles of these two quarterbacks, when Doherty is moving, he's got his eyes down the football field to throw the football. When Gage is moving, he's going to tuck it and run and try to beat you with his legs. A tough contrast for a defense.
We'll see how they do today. Both of these defenses actually have played pretty well of late, despite the lopsided score from last weekend. Very good defensive backs in this one. Jason Webster for the Aggies and Julian Jones for the Tigers. Come on back to Columbia with us. 5,000 plus expected today at Faurot Field. Missouri won the toss. They defer to the second half. Brad Hamrich will kick it deep. And number 9 is Bethel Johnson. The Aggies would love to see their fastest man handle the football, and Missouri's going to keep it away from him. It'll be Webster. And Jason Webster to about the 30-yard line. So that's where the Aggies will set up shop. And the quarterback is senior Randy McCown. 12 touchdowns, 10 interceptions this year. He's over 2,000 yards in the air, which is one of the best marks in the history of Texas A&M football in a single season. The Southwestern Bell Wireless offensive starters. Samisi Haimuli at right guard is making his 48th career start in a row. That's amazing. And when they throw the football, Chris Taylor leads them in receptions. The former quarterback, 29 catches and 4 touchdowns. A short gain, just 1 on first down to Jamar Toombs. Here's the defensive starters. Jeff Marriott's played very well the last month. And, of course, Justin Smith, one of the best ends in college football, just a sophomore. Sean Doyle gets the start at will linebacker. Jamonte Robinson has been suspended for 1 week for an off-the-field violation. Julian Jones, the free safety, the junior, has 6 interceptions among the nation's leaders. It'll be 2nd and 9. They go to Toombs again. And he's still churning to about the 35, 36-yard line. And there is evidence, Dave, of how difficult it is to bring him down.
Yeah, it's very hard to throw him backwards, to tackle him for a loss. And he gets those shoulder pads squared up and lowers them, boy, he is a load and a half.
Let's quickly check in with Jim Knox again. Knoxy.
Okay, Drew, a big concern for Texas A&M has been place kicking. A number of kicks have been blocked this year by Terrence Kitchens. Now, before the game, R.C. Slocum told me he has made the switch. Shane Lakeler, the punter, will be doing the place kicking today. We'll see what happens.
Shane Lakeler, the All-American punter, will be the place kicker. Kitchens had a strange year among the nation's leaders, but he will not place kick today, evidently. The pass is complete to Leroy Hodge, and they're going to give him forward progress past the 40, and that should be enough for a first down.
And I think that was a pretty good spot. I thought Hodge's momentum had carried him past the yard stripe. Little out route, just a ball possession deal. And Hodge, boy, maybe I'm wrong. From up here, the angle, I thought the foot past the 40-yard line. His route had taken him past the 40, but when he caught the football, he was behind it at about the 39.5-yard line, so they did get a favorable spot.
Toombs, the lone running back. Yeah, he's blown up in the backfield. Great play by Sean Doyle. There's the true freshman from Overland Park, Kansas. They said, you know what? He's going to run and he's going to hit. He might not go in the right direction every time, though.
Yeah, he goes 100%, though, and he has his teammates' respect because he is a hustler. And really, the defensive linemen get credit for that because they left him totally unblocked. Sean Doyle, nobody got in his shoulder pads. The defensive lineman consumed all of Texas A&M's offensive linemen, and Doyle had a clear path to make the play.
Eric Bernard has checked in at tailback. McCown. And he gets it away. It's incomplete. Intended for his roommate, Matt Bumgardner. And Bumgardner, who's made a career of coming up with a circus catch, couldn't come up with that one.
Yeah, on a situation like this, when the quarterback is in trouble and vacating the pocket, receivers are taught to come back to the quarterback, make themselves available to the quarterback. It's a little hitch pattern anyway on both sides. One receiver takes it down the football field, another one tries to work his way back to the quarterback. And they get to different levels of the football field to give McCown options.
3rd and 14. Missouri drops in coverage, and it's complete for a first down. Leroy Hodge again will move the chains.
They got the matchup that they wanted. Leroy Hodge matched up in the slot. Hollenquist was there, but never found the football. One back set, little 3-step drop and get the ball out. Hollenquist never found the football. Hodge made the adjustment to the football. Hollenquist didn't. He was right there in his hip pocket, never turned to find the ball until Hodge had already received it.
Flip side of the 50, the 41-yard line of Missouri. And they go to Jamar Toombs into the secondary. He got 7. And it gives us an opportunity to check the Texas A&M game plan. Dave?
Well, the one thing they want to do is score an early offensive touchdown. The Aggies have not scored an offensive touchdown in the first quarter all season long. Every score has been special teams or defense. And then defensively, they want to return to the wrecking crew. They missed 25 tackles against Oklahoma. They want production on first down. Stay on schedule. Stay away from 2nd, 3rd, and long.
Toombs again. He'll have a first down inside the 30, the 27-yard line. Clarence Jones, the strong safety, had to make the tackle on Jamar Toombs.
Well, both coaches have the same philosophy of football. We're going to pound you between the tackles, try to hit you in the mouth, and see how you respond. So both coaches were anticipating a slugfest. R.C. Slocum is keeping him off balance by throwing the football some, but the bread and butter is going to be hammering it between the offensive tackles.
Both of these schools pretty similar. They like to run it between the tackles and play physical football. McCown on the option with room. And he'll dive down at the 20-yard line, but he got 7 on first down.
Well, this is the way you get to the outside. You either can pitch, toss the football, or run the option. You ran it inside to anchor him between the tackles. Now you get to the edge with the option. McCown makes an easy read. Missouri had a defensive breakdown. Nobody was there in their responsibility of the quarterback. He was totally unmolested.
2 tight ends, Toombs right up the gut, and he'll get a couple of yards. Should be short of a first down. This is amazing when you think about Texas A&M football. Right. They have not had a 100-yard rusher this year. You have to go back to 1982, Dave, the last time they've gone a season without producing a 100-yard back. Toombs the best against Southern Miss, 94 yards. That's just not Aggie football.
It really isn't. I think Jamar Toombs at tailback today may have a shot, the best shot of the season to get it done. They're going to give him the football a lot. Missouri, they're going to have to shut Toombs down.
On 3rd and a yard, here's Jamar. He'll have a first down. Again, it was Clarence Jones hanging on for dear life. It'll be 1st and 10 at the plus 15-yard line.
Jamar Toombs, now bear in mind, this kid's 265 pounds. Look at that. Look at him in the backfield. He looks like a pulling guard in the backfield, but look at the vision that he has, and look at the feet. He's very, very agile. He's got quick feet, and really he plays very low. I mean, he gets that pad level down low. In this game of physics, low man wins, and he's a bowling ball.
Bethel Johnson's the tailback now. Toombs is the fullback. McCown cuts it back. And Barry Odom brings him down, but another very good gain on first down. Give him about 5.5.
And I like Bethel Johnson in the backfield because he was the pitch man in the option. He's a blur. He's got what the coaching staff at Texas A&M call quick speed. A lot of players have quickness and or speed, not both. And this kid's got both. And then they can also motion him out of the backfield, get him in the slot, and match him up with a linebacker or safety in the passing attack. I like the creativity.
They're in the red zone now, looking to convert. 2nd and 4. Here's a waggle. And McCown, at the 1-yard line, the ball was dropped by Leroy Hodge. Justin Smith had the pressure on the quarterback. It'll be 3rd down and a long 4.
I like that call as well. Ball on the left hash mark. You run a little naked bootleg, get your quarterback out on the perimeter with a run-pass option, delivers the ball beautifully. 99 times out of 100, Hodge makes that catch. Concentration was there. He just did not finalize. That was the one time where he didn't get it done.
He has the best hands on the team. They need the 5-yard line. They're 3 of 3 on 3rd down on this drive. Inside handoff, still driving, and enough for a first down. Tiki Hardeman broke a tackle, and I believe got enough.
Tiki Hardeman got hit flush, and he spun to his inside to pick up an extra 2 or 3 yards. Second effort by Tiki Hardeman puts Texas A&M in a 1st and goal situation. Bear in mind, they have not scored an offensive touchdown in the first quarter this season. They could do it on their first possession here today. Great effort by Hardeman.
Well, Hardeman's heavier than 7 of the 11 players on defense for Missouri. Toombs is heavier than 8 of the 11.
Yeah, that's a size mismatch, I'll tell you.
1st and goal at the 5. Johnson in at the tailback. Here comes option. Johnson. And he's going to lose a couple yards.
That's late. Uh-oh.
A whole lot of laundry coming in. Justin Smith. Well, might have hit him out of bounds.
Yeah, and Justin Smith is too smart a football player to do that. I mean, there's a big white boundary around the football field. That's a landmark for any player. That's out of bounds. Don't mess with people.
Unnecessary roughness on the defense.
And Justin Smith lost track of where he was on the football field. Well out of bounds is Bethel Johnson, and Justin Smith hits him when he's well out of bounds. Can't do it. There's Bethel Johnson once again, fastest man on the football team. He can really scoot. Well out of bounds. 5 yards out of bounds. And Justin Smith, late hit. Larry Smith says, oh man, we can't self-destruct like that. Come on, we got to keep our poise a little better.
Toombs. Barry Odom, who's one of the surest tacklers in the Big 12, hit him at the 5, and Toombs still got inside the 3-yard line.
Yeah, Barry Odom, he's averaging double-digit tackles. Tied for second, I believe he is, in the Big 12 Conference. And he's got an apparatus on that left thumb. He tore ligaments in it, really messed it up badly earlier in the season. You can see it on the right thumb. It's all taped up. So you'd think that would hinder his tackling ability. He's tough-minded, though.
You got to love that guy. End zone shot, a lot of contact. There's the interference flag. It was Roderick Broughton, the tight end, who was trying to squeeze free.
Posey grabbed him. The ball was in the air. Posey, I think he felt like he was beaten to the corner, and he put 2 hands on him and tugged him backwards, and he got nailed.
Pass interference on the defense in the end zone. The ball will be placed on the 2-yard line. First down.
Well, that's the 3rd first down inside the 5-yard line in 4 plays.
Yeah, and watch Posey, number 5 in the black jersey, right? You see him grab the back of the jersey. Now, the ball probably isn't catchable anyway, but you can't. It doesn't matter. In college football, you just can't do that.
1st and goal at the 2. Toombs, touchdown. And amazingly, that is the first offensive touchdown in the opening quarter of a game for Texas A&M in 1999.
And really, obviously, it's their first touchdown on their first possession of 1999. First drive of the game, aided immeasurably by Missouri penalty. Self-destruction down the stretch. They got one favorable spot on a 3rd down pass play, a 3rd down conversion, drive alive, and then Missouri shot themselves in the foot a few times.
Shane Leckler, the punter, pokes it through. So Leckler, the punter, as Jim Knox explained earlier, will also handle the place kicking chores. An impressive opening drive for the Aggies. They're up 7-0. The Aggies gobbled up about half of the first quarter.
Keep away
on that 70-yard drive. They had 2 defensive touchdowns and 5 field goals, 29 points in the first quarter through 9 weeks of the season until that offensive touchdown drive. Shane Leckler will kick it deep to either Travis Garvin 9 or Ricardo Rhodes, number 31. And he's kicking into a pretty brisk wind. And this is going to go out of bounds, so Missouri will get the football at the 35-yard line. The quarterback and really the starter through most of this year is Jim Daugherty. He split time earlier this year with Kirk Farmer. Farmer broke his leg against Iowa State. He'll split time today with Justin Gage. And the Southwest Bell Wireless offensive line, Rob Reedy's an All-American at center. He's one of the best centers in college football. Mike Hayes, very good guard. Zane Gilmore carried it 45 times 2 weeks ago in a win against Texas Tech.
He was happy Gilmore that day, boy.
He was tired, Gilmore.
Yeah.
Here's Zane, and he gets 7 yards on first down out to the 42-yard line. Here's the Wrecking Crew defense. Ronald Flemons is very, very quick to right end, the junior. Lonnie Matterson gets the start at left end. Rocky Bernard can't go. He has an ankle injury. Royland Bradley, the outside backer, the junior, has 7 sacks to lead the Aggies. A very experienced secondary. Jamison has been in the end zone twice, the strong safety. And Jason Webster, the left corner. He never comes off the field.
Iron Man.
He's on every special team. Daugherty. Look at this. He's going to run with it.
Yes, sir.
And Daugherty is going to get hit by Webster, but he got a first down out to about the 48-yard line.
Daugherty did a nice job that time. He got himself out of pocket, giving himself a run-pass option. Daugherty likes to get the ball down the football field. He likes to throw it. Pump fake, nowhere to go. He sees the Red Sea part, and he says, boy, I can get a first down if I just scurry a little bit here. And he does exactly that. Who makes the hit? Webster. Webster, between special teams and defensive snaps, will be out in the field 85 plays today at least. And it's 81 degrees.
You don't usually worry about cramping in mid-November. That could be a factor today.
Got to hydrate, absolutely.
Gilmore trying to bounce it wide and across midfield to the 48-yard line. An advance of 4 on first down. We take a look at the Buick scoring drive as Jamar Toombs checks in with Mom. 17 plays. Are you kidding me? 70 yards, 7:16 on the clock. Toombs a 2-yard run, and again, the first touchdown by the offense for Texas A&M in the opening quarter in 1999.
And 8 of those 17 plays were first down plays, and they only averaged 2 yards on first down, so they found themselves in quite a few second and longs and still converted.
3-step drop, they throw it in the flat to Garvin, and he couldn't handle the football as Brian Gamble was closing quickly. Let's take a look at the Missouri game plan today.
Well, they want to stone Toombs. He was more of a tombstone to them on that first drive. He was knocking them around pretty good. They want to break a big run. Take away the 43-yard reverse by Lehman, a wide receiver. Their longest run from scrimmage is 25 yards by Gilmore. They want to break a big one today. A block party. The Tigers have already blocked 6 kicks. That ties the single-season record under Larry Smith. And bear in mind, A&M, they've had 7 field goals blocked, although Leckler is now kicking field goals.
3rd down and 6. They need the 42-yard line. They go on a draw. And Gilmore will spin, but won't get to the sticks. He'll be about 2 yards short. And Larry Smith has made his decision already. He's going to punt the football.
Yeah, he's going to play a little field position, try to pin him back in there. You know, when you have a weapon like Leckler, that every time A&M punts the football, although they didn't have to on that 17-play first drive, there's a swing of almost half the football field. So Larry Smith, he wants to make A&M go on a long field here.
Jason Webster back deep. Gilpin will punt it. Larry Smith says the magic number on these punts is 4.2. I want at least 4.2 seconds of hang time. We'll see how he does here. He got it up the elevator shaft. No question about that. Good punt.
Find it. Oh, couldn't find it.
Well, Gilpin did his job. It just took that quick hop through the end zone. A punt of 44 yards. 7-0 Aggies. Texas A&M, Drew Goodman, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox. And they give it to the fullback. And Jamar Toombs stuffed for no gain.
Well, once again, first down production was the key for Texas A&M. They overcame lack of first down production on that first drive. 8 first downs, only averaging 2 yards per. They still go on a 17-play drive, helped by penalties against Missouri inside the 10-yard line to finish the drive off. Big penalties, personal foul, interference, things of that ilk.
2nd and 10. Hardiman and Toombs now in the eye. Down, short drop, and his pass in the direction of Chris Cole, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10. I think it was so important, really, for both schools, obviously, when you're coming off a shutout, to have early success, and not just early success moving the football, but scoring points.
Right. Both teams looking to build their confidence offensively. Missouri shut out 2 of the last 3 weeks. They're still stagnated offensively. A&M, trying to come back from a very, very subpar performance against Nebraska. Pretty salty defense are the Huskers. That drive must have given them some confidence.
3 weeks ago, they lost 51-6 against Oklahoma. Smith coming on the backside. McCown gets it away. Good move by Bethel Johnson, but he's going to be about a half a yard short. He lost Danny McCamey in the flat, and he got 9.5 yards on 3rd and 10.
Boy, he sure did. He got McCamey out there in the open field, and it's a match because you got a big body against a smaller body out there. He just can't negotiate quite as well. McCamey lurches out into space as Johnson comes up just a skosh short of a first down. And here's the All-American. Big difference in this game, net punting. They're 3rd in the country. Texas A&M is net punting. And Missouri's 113th out of 114 teams.
Leckler with a howitzer.
Man.
Artie Johnson, watch it go over his head, down at the 9-yard line. How about that? A 62-yard punt for the nation's best punter, Mr. Leckler. Calls Shane Leckler his MVP, not only this year, in the last 2 years. High praise for a punter, but Leckler is that good. Here's the North Division standings of the Big 12. Kansas State and Nebraska later on today. Colorado's 4-2, 5-4 overall. Missouri at 4-5. If they win today and pull the upset next week in Manhattan, Kansas, they're bowl eligible at 6-5. They might be heading to their 3rd straight bowl, but they have a lot of work left to do. Trailing 7-0 from their own 9-yard line. Goes to Gilmore, and the wrecking crew kind of bottles that up. Pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards. They ran right behind Rob Reedy. Here's the South Division. Texas plays Texas Tech tonight. If they win, they lock up the South Division. Oklahoma's 5-3. They have 2 road games left. They're the Aggies at 6-3. They could finish 8-3, Dave, if they knock off Texas. And I don't know how happy folks would be in College Station, because the expectations every year, kind of like Lincoln, Nebraska, right, sky high.
Well, 41, 42 days ago, they were number 5 in the country, and it's been kind of a free fall, and that's what the fans are looking at. But a lot of teams would like to be 8-3 going into a bowl with the possibility for the 9th win.
Of course, it'd feel good for the Aggies to knock off the Longhorns.
Oh, that makes their season.
And the catch is made by Kareem Wise, a pickup of about 4 yards. And it'll be 3rd down and a couple for Missouri.
Well, what you try to get done here, what Doherty's trying to do is, if you can't move the chains with the completion, at least make it a 3rd makeable. Little play action scenario, and Doherty throws the frozen rope to the sideline. Very accurate, throwing it to the outside where only his receiver can make a play on the football. Leckler, though, the guy determines field position. Larry Smith decided to punt to try to pooch inside the 20. The ball goes into the end zone for a touchback. Leckler, it backfires. He punts the ball over the punter's head. Now Missouri's got the long field again.
He's quite a weapon. 3rd down and short. Gilmore won't get close. He'll lose yards. Royland Bradley, 40, was there. Also Cornelius Anthony, 46, at a run blitz.
Well, Bradley, that's his 15th tackle for loss if he was the primary hit on that. He's also got 7 quarterback sacks. So Bradley is a guy that is just a disruptor. I mean, 21-22 two times you catch people behind the line of scrimmage, either running backs or quarterbacks, and throwing them off schedule, that's a one-man wrecking crew right there. He's very, very impressive.
Chris Taylor's back at his own 40-yard line. Gilpin needs to really get into one here. The Aggies are going to have great field position. He does have the wind at his back. This is returnable. Taylor. And that'll be a clip, so they'll go the other direction. A block in the back, easy to see. 42 yards on the punt. Taylor was dropped at the 48-yard line, but we have flags all over the turf. Terry Turlington will tell us about it momentarily.
Well, Duncan covering the punt from Missouri was just pushed in the back, right out in view, full view of the officials, so that's going to set A&M back.
You know, on the last snap, on 3rd and 2, Missouri was stuffed. They lose yardage, kind of reminiscent of last week in their loss to Oklahoma. They had a bunch of...
On the return, 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul, first down.
Well, they call it holding.
Take a look right here. Here's what's going on. That's the illegal block in the back right there. You can call it a bunch of things, but none of it's legal. I'll tell you that right now. And that cost A&M some field position right there. Didn't hit. Pushed in the back. They called it holding. He held as well. It was all ugly.
So from the 31-yard line, the Aggies have the football. And they go to Toombs, who breaks one tackle, and he gets to about the 34-yard line. We talked to Larry Smith yesterday about the importance of today's game. We also talked to RC about the outlook with 2 games to go.
We're struggling a little bit, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to give up on this football team or the season. There's lots of opportunity in this season, starting with the game today.
Short and sweet. Coaches aren't in overly talkative moods. They lose 37-0. Steve Erickson got penetration, and that'll be a 2-yard loss.
Had Tough Duffy involved as well. Erickson, I'll tell you what, they're very, very strong in front, and they play well down the stretch. Marriott, the last 4 or 5 games, has been unbelievable, and they really anchor things. Their front four may be one of the more physical front fours in the Big 12.
Next week, we'll either be in Lubbock, Texas, or Manhattan, Kansas. Check your local listings. 3rd down and 8. McCown over the head of Toombs in the flat. Missouri plays good defense again. 3 and out for the Aggies. They do have the lead 7-0 in a rapidly moving first quarter. 1:10 to go. And as R.C. Slocum will send his MVP back onto the field in Shane Leckler.
Well, this guy is going to dominate, I think, in the NFL as well. Like R.C. Slocum says, every punt is good. Some are great. I mean, you're going to get 40, 45 yards out of him every single time he puts his foot to the ball.
You know, he's punting from his own 20. Artie Johnson's back at his 10, and he's punting into the wind. Look at this thing. I mean, that is as good as it gets. And Johnson looked like he called a fair catch and then started running with it. It may have been a halo violation on the Aggies as well. It's kind of strange because Johnson kind of paused after he caught the football.
Yeah, it might be a halo infraction on Missouri covering it, or it may be running after signaling fair catch on A&M. Let's see what the call is. Remember, there's a 2-yard buffer zone. You can't invade that.
Well, I do know this much. That punt was 55 yards.
He is just unbelievable. Not only that time, that was 55 yards with great hang time. The first one was a line drive over the head. You know, if that was able to be caught, he obviously would have outkicked his coverage. That time was just...
Halo violation on the kicking team, first down.
And remember, you got to give the return man right here 2 yards, a 2-yard area, 2-yard zone. You can't get inside of. Boy, that's ticky-tack. I don't like that. I don't like that halo thing. I mean, he didn't have anything to do with his ability to catch the football. He was totally unimpeded. It's a contact game. Well, you know, I just don't like halo.
I don't even think it was a violation. I think it was about 3 yards away.
Yeah, I think the whole thing's bogus myself. Halo schmalo.
Already a quarterback in trouble. And he gets it away, and it's incomplete.
Nice job by the official. The umpire took him down.
Yeah, Dwayne Blakely was open, but the 12 12th man on the field made the play. The 12th man is Ron Johnson, the umpire in this case.
Yeah, unassisted tackle to Ron. Check this out. Ba-boom. Oh, little hit. Oh, down to go. But he impeded his route and took him to the turf. Unassisted tackle. And then he's playing rugby. Now, he's getting no pads on. It's pretty good. Pretty good contact. I don't know. They didn't sustain it. Kind of went to the turf prematurely, but thank goodness he's okay.
Nicely done, Dave. Devon Black in at tailback. And he gets the call. Big opening. Black rumbles for about 9 yards before Brandon Jennings, the free safety, got him around the legs.
Well, pretty good job by the offensive line. Once again, right up the middle, Reedy blocks back, left guard blocks down, and just a gash, just gashing the defense. I mean, there was a hole there. I think they caught Texas A&M in some movement in a slant, and they had the call perfect into that slant, and they abused it.
Here's the story we were developing last series. 3rd and short or 4th and short last week. They were horrendous. They get the first down on 3rd and short in this situation. Devon Black will move the chains. But last week, they've 1 for 12 in short yards. You're not going to win games if you can't convert.
No, they're not. And what Larry Smith did was very simple. Larry Smith said, okay, boys, put your pads on Monday, and we're going to scrimmage live in those situations. So Larry Smith said, we're going to go back to being a physical football team. If you're in 3rd and short and 4th and short situations and we can't get it done, I'll make sure you get it done next time.
Not only did he do it Monday, he finished every practice this week with a short yardage drill. First quarter's done. The Aggies in Columbia leading the Tigers 7-zip. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Perfectly straight.
Glad you noticed.
Man.
7 first downs for Texas A&M. They had twice as many plays. And Missouri right now has the football, and they got a man open downfield, and it's nearly intercepted. For a moment, Eric Spencer was open, but the ball kind of hung up in the air, and it was nearly picked off by Jason Webster, who already has 4 interceptions on the year. Missouri told us they were going to take some shots, try to stretch the Aggies.
Yep, and Daugherty doesn't have the howitzer on the arm. I mean, he's accurate. That ball hangs up in the air a little bit, and Webster, they almost have to reverse roles. Webster's there for the play. Spencer has to play defensive back. Webster, the receiver, Spencer knocks it out.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Devon Black behind Chirumbolo.
A little false start action. All right, Dale, too much time. Clock expired. Play clock.
Well, these two teams have not been penalized that much this year. Larry Smith's had a lot to be upset about the last few weeks, but it really hasn't been penalties.
No, it hasn't. They've not self-destructed. You know, what happens, you got the number 1 and number 2 team in the conference in terms of penalty yards against. Missouri, early in this game, though, hurting themselves with negative yards in terms of penalty. Some of it is related to youth. You play a lot of young people, you pay a price.
And Missouri's certainly doing that. 2nd and 15. It's going to be 2nd and 20. As Justin Bland got going a little early.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat 2nd down.
Now you just really have to shake yourself, you know, get the cobwebs out. I don't know, 81 degrees, you're getting lulled to sleep a little bit. Is it too nice? I don't know, you're a cold weather team and you're expecting colder weather. You just got to get your mind right and remember the snap count.
We were here in November last year, and we put on every coat we could find and bought a few.
I'm telling you what, it was rainy, chilly, took chill right to the bone.
2nd and 20 for the Tigers. Another deep ball. Garvin is out there. The ball was underthrown.
Webster almost got another one.
But Webster was beaten on the play by Travis Garvin, the freshman from Bradenton, Florida. So you look at Webster's numbers on the season.
And the coaching staff for A&M says, hey, Garvin shows up. He can really run, a big playmaker, but Webster, well, that's twice. I mean, a couple of times. He could have had interceptions, could not quite finalize, but Daugherty showing not quite enough arm a couple of times to stretch the football field.
3rd down and 20. They need the 44-yard line. And that was nearly pulled in, knocked away at the last instant. Kareem Wise, the intended target. Gardy looking down the field, wondering if it was a drop or if one of the Aggie defenders got a hand in.
Well, that was a cover 2. Webster got help from Keel. I thought Keel was going to pull the old blow-up shot. I mean, he could have absolutely detonated Wise, but he kind of flew over the top. Didn't make any contact.
Chris Taylor back deep at about his own 37-yard line. Gilpin now has to punt it to the breeze on 4th and 20. So the drought for the Missouri offense continues. Shutout last week against Oklahoma.
Oh, a little false start again. Play clock again. Wow. Boy.
Delay of the game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Not good. Larry Smith certainly doesn't like it. Boy, look at that. That's the great stone face right there. Not the least bit thrilled with what's gone on to this point.
I guarantee if you don't get something right with Coach Smith, you'll be doing it about 10,000 times the next week in practice.
And I'd hate to be the chalkboard at halftime because that bad boy may get cracked.
They had to buy new ones.
I tell you, he has that nice right jab, falls with a left cross, and those boards go down like crazy.
Yeah, he cut his hand last week
yes,
on
he did.
Blackboard.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Holyfield, I'd rather go against, anybody but Coach Smith.
Some of the fights we've seen in the heavyweight division lately, Coach Smith throws more punches.
That's really true. It's pretty ugly.
Gilpin gets it away, but it's very short.
Oh.
Running up, losing the football. It's loose. And Missouri has it. Webster couldn't squeeze it, and Missouri catches an enormous break after just a 27-yard punt. Kareem Wise, you're right, Dave, all over the football.
Yeah, Wise came up with it. A chance was taken. Now, Leckler punting into the wind was kicking just absolute bombs. The wind knocked this one down. Tremendous difference in leg strength. And Webster says, I'm going to take a chance. Can't control it. Lets the ball get into his shoulder pads, and it bounds away. Now it's a loose pigskin rolling, and it's not perfectly round. Remember, it's oblong, and it rolls right into Wise's belly. First turnover of the day goes in Missouri's favor.
And there was a perfect illustration of the difference, not to take a shot at Jared Gilpin, but he's a mere mortal punting the football compared to Leckler. The Aggies would have had great field position. Zane Gilmore gets about 4 yards on 1st down. Larry Smith knows that today is a must-win for the Tigers.
We talk about our backs being the wall. It's more than that. We're in a big-time corner, and if we want to salvage something out of this season, this is the game that we got to do it with and get us to a point where at least we have a chance going into the last game.
Well, last year they were 8-4. A year ago they were 7-5. Next week, as we mentioned, they will be in Manhattan taking on either an unbeaten Kansas State team or a once-beaten Kansas State team. They give it to the fullback this time. Chirumbolo gets a few yards. It'll be 3rd down and a couple, just shy of midfield. Joe Chirumbolo, the freshman from Naperville, Illinois.
Let's take a look at what goes on in the pits up front in the offensive line. You know, you got an All-American center, Rob Reedy. Watch him block back. Guard pulls, quick trap. Just a little deal inside. Boom, trap. Backdoors the trap a little bit, pick up some positive yards, make it 3rd and short. Just smash mouth.
To Gilmore. Darty can run for it, and he will. Good decision by Jim Darty. That is one of the reasons, though he might not wow you with his physical prowess, that's one of the reasons he's the starting quarterback.
No question. He is aware. He sees the field. Coach's son. Watch on the perimeter right here how they get faked out on the bootleg. Oh, reach run. And all of a sudden he realizes, oh, quarterback's got the ball. Now he can't catch a big down lineman. Can't catch him. Picks up the necessary yards. Finally escorted out of bounds. But that nice little play fake on the naked bootleg got the down lineman biting big.
And now the Tigers on the move from the Aggie 45, trailing 7-zip. And it's incomplete. Blakely dropped it at the 40. The crowd thought that the Aggies arrived a little early. Brian Gamble knocked it away.
Yeah, Brian Gamble was, boy, he was all over Blakely. Blakely is a guy, you talk about a touchdown maker. He's got 19 catches this season, 5 of those are touchdowns. That's a pretty strong ratio. For his career, he's got 23 receptions, and 6 of those are touchdowns. So he's a touchdown waiting to happen.
What, about 27% of the time, Dave?
Something like that.
I knew you'd get that out. 2nd and 10. And Gilmore leans ahead to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5. Throwing situation for Daugherty, who's just 1 of 7 here in the early part of this football game.
Well, Missouri, they've run the trap. In that particular play, they ran the counter, pulling the backside guard and tackle. You know, they're running their zone play inside. They're trying to mix it up a little bit in the running game between the tackles.
Gilmore did against Texas Tech, 45 totes, and he had 17 on their final drive. That's amazing. Daugherty on 3rd down, time breaking down, and he goes down. Jason Glenn on the backside got him, number 23, the junior from Houston.
Heat-seeking missile, the blitz. Daugherty tucked it. He was going to vacate the pocket, and as soon as he got his vision in the right place, he saw Glenn coming, and coming in a bad frame of mind. He get blown up.
5th sack on the season for Jason Glenn. So Gilpin will punt again. Taylor now at his 10-yard line. Whole different set of circumstances on this punt for Gilpin. He's going to try to get it out of bounds or inside the 10 somehow.
Got to take advantage of the takeaway, though, more so than Missouri did. Got nothing out of it.
It's a gorgeous punt.
Good.
Oh, beautiful punt. It'll be down inside the 2-yard line. A punt of 43, a net of 43 as John McPherson got downfield to down it.
I'm telling you, he's going to give us the play. He was right in the huddle. How about the balance he showed on that fire engine? He had some serious balance going, man.
Last week he rode in on a Harley.
He's tough.
From inside the 2-yard line. It's Tiki Hardeman with a little bit of room out to about the 4.5-yard line. Texas A&M 0-3 on the road this year. Now, they played in Shreveport against Louisiana Tech, so that was viewed as a neutral site game in their opener. They knocked off La Tech 37-17, but they have not won away from College Station in 1999 other than in Shreveport. And look at the difference in points scored and point differential.
That's the story right there.
A different team on the road, and on 2nd down they get nothing. They ran into Justin Smith, and when you run into Justin Smith, the play ends abruptly.
Yeah, he's an immovable object. He's got the big old tattoo going, and Hardeman and Smith talking it over a little bit. I'm sure they're not talking about, you know, where they went last night or the night before, and nothing happening at the line of scrimmage. Gang tackle, 4 or 5 black jerseys involved. It looked like a rugby scrum right there. Texas A&M, one of their keys today was 1st down production. They've run the ball every 1st down, only averaging 1.9 yards per rush. Now they're backed up. I can see why they ran the ball on 1st down this time, backed up like they are, but they're going to have to mix it up a little bit more than that.
3rd and 7. They run a draw to Toombs. And Missouri's defense rises to the occasion. Pat Duffy made the tackle, number 36. And now Leckler will have to punt it from his own end zone.
Larry Smith likes this field position, swing right here. Excellent job of pinning Texas A&M back. And a lot of times it's as hard to come out of the shadow of your own end zone as it is to score going in on a 1st and goal situation. And A&M was not very productive on that series. 1, 2, 3 and out.
Artie Johnson back at the 35-yard line, showing enormous respect, and really should, for Leckler. Low snap. Here they come. Leckler gets it away. Line drive punt taken at the 42. Johnson crosses midfield. And Missouri indeed will have great field position. A 49-yard punt, a return of 13.
Reckler has only had one punt blocked in his career. That was in the bowl game, Sugar Bowl against Ohio State, Missouri. Almost that time. Justin Smith.
Design, he is in the football game now. He played a couple of series last week against Oklahoma, took the red shirt off. Very good athlete. They're going to run some option with Gage in there. This time they give it to Gilmore straight ahead, and he does not get much. Runs into Ronald Flemings, 99. We asked Larry Smith yesterday about pulling the red shirt on his talented freshman so late in the year.
If he didn't want to do it, I wouldn't do it. And I told him there would come a time I'd probably have to do it the next 3 or 4 weeks. And I said the reason I would do it was because I felt that A, the team needed help, and B, you could help us win.
Well, he's going to get an opportunity today to help Missouri win. Last week didn't complete a pass, but he was impressive running the ball. Here comes the option. And Gage breaks one tackle, but then 2 or 3 white jerseys arrive. Royland Bradley will get up last, number 40.
Well, Franson had a shot at Gage. Gage goes down the line of scrimmage here, running the option. He's got 2 hands on the football, secures with the left hand, trying to get his body between the linebacker and his play, and then he changes it to his right hand. That's a little bit testy right there. Franson is the one that flew out into space. You know, he wanted to make sure he had his body between the ball and the defender, but that's risky to do it so late.
Well, he only played 1 season in high school of quarterback. He was an all-state defensive back. They go on a draw, and to the 40-yard line Missouri gets, but it'll be 4th down and 5. Zane Gilmore could get just 4, and Missouri, despite the great field position, will have to punt the football. And now you start to wonder about the confidence of that offensive unit. Shut out last week against Oklahoma, and now through a quarter and a half, Dave, got nothing on the scoreboard again.
And you bring the young freshman in with the best field position of the day, and you run it. You run the ball on 1st down, you run the option on 2nd down, and a draw on 3rd down. Don't even let him throw the football. So I guess they didn't want to put him in a tough spot, but geez, why put him in? You don't want to with that field position. I don't get it.
Gilpin will try to deaden it inside the 5 again, and he does a great job. At the 4-yard line, it's John McPherson, the special teams whiz. Net punt of 36. 8 straight punts in this football game. The Aggies scored on their opening drive, but nothing doing since then. And back up from the 4, Jamar Toombs blasts out to about the 10-yard line. Justin Smith with the tackle.
Well, that was the 12th straight run on 1st down for Texas A&M. They picked up nice yards there, a little over 6. They've been averaging 2 yards per rush on 1st down prior to that. And once again, backed up, I can understand running on 1st down. You don't have that much confidence. Boy, that's a good place to throw the football. A little play action with the speed at wideout that you have. Over the top on 1st down, nice little changeup.
Eric Bernard is checked into the backfield for the Aggies. And McCown has it away to Taylor. At the 22-yard line, Chris Taylor will have a 1st down, his 30th reception of the season. One of the strengths of this Aggie offense is their wide receiver crew. They're pretty deep.
Well, they are, and they've got some speed. They got 4 guys in that wide receiver crew averaging over 15 yards per reception. He's at 19 yards per catch. Pretty strong. He ran a nice little run and got some separation to the sideline.
And even if they don't do anything with the football here, that's a big 1st down. They run counter, and Toombs gets maybe a yard. Justin Smith, 96 again, making the play. And a reminder, later on today, we'll be selecting our BMW play of the game.
You know, Justin Smith is definitely a difference maker on defense. You have to account for him. You certainly can't, when he rushes, you can't get him matched up against a running back. And Missouri tries to do that. They move him around a little bit and almost rush him as a linebacker, and that's coffin nails to have him rushing against the running backs. And McCown underthrows Chris
Chris Cole, who was running with Carlos Posey. Pretty good coverage, but the ball was well underthrown.
Posey comes up with a little bit of a limp. Pretty good coverage. Never really turned to find the football. Cushion, it's not ridiculous. No contact off the line of scrimmage, just running in the hip pocket, trying to make a play on the football. Certainly not thrown accurately enough. Harmlessly falls to the ground as Cole can't get it. And there's Posey trying to shake off the injury that he sustained in coverage on that last play.
Larry Hollenquist is in. 3rd down and 10. McCown on the backside. And it's complete to Taylor, but he's going to be short of a first down. Stopped at the 28-yard line. And Shane Leckler will come in again. Danny McCamey, he was in the neighborhood, number 67.
Now, what a difference it is to Leckler. If they had not generated a first down backed up, he would have been punting from his end line. Here he'll contact the football probably about the 18 or 19-yard line. Tremendous field position difference with his ability to punt it 50 or 60.
Good snap, and Leckler, this is not one of his better efforts, but it takes a big Aggie hop. Artie Johnson is grabbed at the 15-yard line.
Oh, get away.
Oh, man, how did he get away? To the 32-yard line. Artie Johnson had about 9 lives on that run. A punt of 52 with a hop, and a return of 15.
Well, when you tackle, you gotta hit up. Don't just reach out with the hand and try to tackle him high. Does a good job. Look, up around the shoulder pads, trying to throw him down to the turf, could not get it done. That was Curry. He broke Curry's grasp and picked up about an extra 15 yards.
Next week, again, a reminder, we will either have Missouri and Kansas State in Manhattan, or Oklahoma visiting the Red Raiders at Texas Tech in Lubbock. Gage to Garvin in the flat, and Garvin shows that quick burst. He got 9. That's a nice, safe throw to get Justin Gage going. That's his first career completion.
It sure is. And get his feet on the ground, get a little comfortable, and boy, Garvin is a racehorse. Look at the possessions here for Missouri. No more than 7 plays run. They've had 2 3-and-outs. They haven't generated more than 21 yards on any possession.
You know, Dave, this year, their first 5 weekends, they had 216 yards on average running the football. Their last 4 weeks, just 123.
That's night and day.
On 2nd and 1, they'll get the first down with Devon Black. Black was the starter at the beginning of the year. Zane Gilmore was the backup, but Black put it on the ground a couple of weeks in a row, and they started playing Zane Gilmore, and he's responded. So now they use both of them. So Zane Gilmore got the start today, and Zane Gilmore's had a few more carries.
Well, Devon Black has had a very, very difficult lesson in learning ball security.
You see, he totaled it 23 times a game the first 6 weeks. Not much the last few. Gage nearly threw a pick.
Man, right.
Michael Jamison, who already has 3 interceptions this year, had it in his mitts.
Well, he's got a young quarterback, and Jamison says, I'm going to watch your eyes, Gage, and you're going to take me where you're going to throw the football. You're not going to look me off. He's got 2 receivers, little crossing pattern, and Jamison's just watching his eyes. Comes off the 1 receiver, sees that Gage is locked in, and he's looking nowhere else. He's going to try to get the ball to Garvin, and almost made the big play off of the young quarterback's eyes.
2 tight ends on 2nd and 10. Gage to Black, and Black will get 9 yards. Good blocking at the point of attack. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Well, Missouri goes to the counter on right here. Both linemen from the backside pulling. Kick out block. Tackle turns it upfield and makes his contact. A nice hole up the gut. They've run the trap. They've run the power. They've run the counter. They've run the zone blocking inside. So they've shown A&M many, many different looks between the tackles.
Justin Smith has stepped into the backfield, and Devon Black won't get there. 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th down. And here comes the crowd. You know they always want you to go. Larry Smith's club losing 7-0 right now with 2:45 left in the first half. And he's going to send in the punt team again.
He's playing field position. You know, he doesn't want to gamble, doesn't want to roll the dice here. And when you look back on last week, 3rd and a half yard, 4th and 6 inches against Nebraska. Didn't make it either time. You know, that kind of gives you a little bit of a apprehension about going for it on short yardage. So even though they worked on it all week, he doesn't want to take a chance here.
Well, it still has given them problems today. Webster back at the 11-yard line calls the fair catch. They've had a couple of occasions today, 3rd and short, they haven't been able to convert. Well, don't forget to join Jim Knox in a few minutes on our Sonic America's Drive-In halftime report.
You know, I think time is a factor too, Drew. With about 2 minutes to go, I think Coach Smith figured if they didn't make it, and once again, that's a negative thought, but if you didn't make it, A&M's got great field position. They can put more points on the board. Now they have to start from the 12-yard line. With only 2 minutes and 13 seconds to play, they got a long field to go.
2:13 left in the first half. Drew Knox on a perfect day in Columbia, Missouri. Crowd of more than 55,000 in the house. They're going to average, just the final home game of the year, close to 60,000 this year for home football games.
Great to see Missouri football back.
You bet. And a solid gain on 1st down for Tiki Hardiman.
I tell you, Tiki, he's got a lot of weight on a short body at 5'10", but he's not sloppy. He's just thick, wide, broad. It's a big old horse.
And kind of like Toombs. They say he's not fat at all, though he weighs 265. McCown throws underneath. This is complete. Chris Taylor makes a man miss, and Taylor runs out of bounds at the 37-yard line. He lost Hollenquest for a moment. 3rd catch for Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor said, I got you on an island. You're Gilligan. Marion and the professor are nowhere to be found. I can get a little extra yardage. In fact, if I can beat you, I might be able to get up the sideline for a lot of yards. He sees inside-out pursuit coming, so he picks up 6, 7 extra yards and gets out of bounds.
From the 37 on 1st down. Trying to get a screen set up. And Hardiman tackled almost immediately by Sean Doyle.
And Doyle has not been a liability. You know, Doyle in the game, once again, getting a lot of snaps due to Jamonte Robinson's off-field problems, suspension for a week, but it really affects special teams because Doyle started on all 4 of them. He's only starting on 2 now.
Blitz coming, flags fly, and McCowan goes flying down the wrong direction at the 40-yard line. Justin Smith.
Well, either Missouri was lined up offside or A&M didn't have 7 on the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the call is.
Smith on the tackle, flag on the play.
They're talking it over. A little convention of the striped jerseys going on.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain 2nd down. Timeout. Texas A&M.
Well, they didn't have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. They only had 6. You have to have 7. You can have more than 7, but you can't have less than 7.
The Aggies with a timeout with 1:06 left before halftime. Dat Nguyen had an illustrious career at Texas A&M from 1994 to 98. The Aggies' all-time leader in tackles, won the 98 Lombardi Award and also the Chuck Bednarik College Defensive Player of the Year Award. Today, Dat, of course, plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Backup linebacker, plays on special teams, and he fondly remembers his days as an Aggie.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome staying in the state, and it's awesome the way the tradition is. You know, wherever you go, even, you know, when we used to play at A&M, when we travel, it's still, you know, 5,000 fans, you know, 6,000 fans around. And same way with the Cowboys. We go to hotels, and there's packed people all around the hotel lobbies and, you know, at the game. You know, you go to, like we were in Philly, there's a lot of the Cowboys fans. I was pretty surprised how many fans were there.
Well, R.C. Slocum and all the Aggie fans missed Dat Wynn. What a wonderful player he was. But he has 6 teammates that are now playing in the NFL off of last season's roster. So they missed those guys in terms of talent, also leadership.
Right. Well, 10 guys got opportunities. 7 actually made it. So, I mean, that's pretty strong. Dat Wynn was one of those guys that you love as a coach because as great a player as he was unassuming and just a regular guy and a leader amongst his troops as well. And you can't replace that very easily.
Not quickly, at least. 3rd down and 6. McCown, quarterback draw. Missouri rises to the occasion. Jeff Marriott makes the play. He's been making a lot of plays of late.
Boy, Marriott, he's got a reservation in the backfield on this one. Penetration is exceptional. Marriott's done a good job all year long. Look at the penetration inside. He just blows it up. He just center guard gap. Neither player picks him up, and Marriott dumps it. Disruptive.
And Missouri will call a timeout. Leckler's in the game. 46 seconds left. Missouri will either try to come after Leckler, maybe set up some kind of return and see if they have enough time to produce any offense. They have no points on the scoreboard. They were shut out 37-0 last week in Norman. Their 15th straight loss in Norman to the Sooners. Here's the remaining games left for the contenders in the North Division. Kansas State has Nebraska, as you're probably well aware, later today. And then they have these Missouri Tigers. Nebraska finishes in their annual showdown with Colorado. It will come in Boulder this year. Colorado has Baylor today. And in the South, Texas can win the division if they beat Texas Tech today. Their annual showdown with the Aggies comes on the 26th as well. The Red Raiders are at Texas and then home to Oklahoma. And Oklahoma has 2 tough road games left, Dave.
Well, they sure do. No easy chore right there for Oklahoma, particularly if the wind is blowing like it can in Ames, Iowa, when you're throwing the football like Oklahoma does. Incredible thing with Leckler, he's only had 1 punt block like we talked about in the Sugar Bowl against Ohio State, none in the regular season. Nobody has ever returned a punt for a touchdown against him as well. He is tremendous.
And they're going to set up a return. And Leckler, oh my goodness. Jeez. Right into the end zone. That's why you don't return him for a touchdown. He just punts it over your head. 63 yards. Earlier he had a 62-yarder. When his career is complete, he will be the all-time NCAA punt leader for average. 35 games, 40-plus. The NCAA record is 36. He's going to be 40-plus today. He's going to be 50-plus today.
Yeah, the way he's starting, he's going to be he's the bionic punter.
And, you know, he has 9 games in his career where he's averaged more than 50 yards a punt.
You know, the extension that he gets, he's got a powerful leg, obviously, and his follow-through, his extension, man, his kneecap bangs his forehead just about.
Doherty's back in. They're going to keep it on the ground. And Gilmore will get about 7 or 8. But Missouri, backed up at their own 20, will go into the locker room trailing just 7-0.
You know, you look at Missouri's offense, they've been shut out 2 of the last 3 games, and they're in danger of being shut out here, obviously, as the half winds down for a half of this football game. Really, really struggling to move the football offensively.
And Doherty walking off the field, he realizes they don't have to snap it again. The crowd not pleased. Missouri was scoring points in bunches early this season. 31 in their opener, 48, then 40. But right now they trail 7-0. Let's check in with Jim Knox with R.C. Slocum. Jim?
All right, thanks, Drew. R.C., you guys put the quick 7 points on the board. From here on out, your defense is taking over. You got to be extremely pleased. Your defense is playing terrific football right now.
Well, I was really disappointed. The error in the kicking game, the fumble punt, cost us about 40 yards of field position, allowed them to keep our offense backed up inside the 10-yard line. And that was really a critical play in the second quarter there.
Do you think the 7 points will hold up, R.C.? Do you think you need to put more on the board?
We played half a game. We've got a lot of football left, and we're going to try to come out like it's 0-0 and see if we can win the second half.
All right, best of luck in the second half. Thank you, R.C. Drew?
All right, Jim, thanks very much. 2 offenses looking for some confidence. The Aggies scored on their opening drive. That's all we've got. Coming up, the Sonic America's Drive-In halftime report.
Play drive, ball control well over 7 minutes off the clock, and it was finalized by this rush by Jamar Toombs off the right tackle position. Really, they've done a good, decent job of containing Toombs overall, though, as Missouri holding him to like 2 yards a carry.
Missouri has just 2 completed passes in the game. We'll come back, third quarter, up next.
Why are business travelers choosing Sleep Inn? The well-lit grounds, the electronic locks, the walk-in showers, complimentary breakfast. Because it's a place that understands the needs of the business traveler. It's all those things. Plus the service.
Hey, knock it off.
Is incredible. If you're traveling on business, stay at Sleep Inn, in a class by itself.
Remember life in the fast lane? I do. First you meet, then you get married, and things slowed down. Yeah, right. Yay! To help you keep up, drive the supercharged Regal GS Sports Sedan. Plenty of room, standard traction control, and the most power in its class. Get up to $35.67 average finance savings with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on 1999 Regals. Official car of the supercharged family.
Hey there, time for a holiday. So switch off your computers and take a national holiday with National Car Rental. Spend some time with National Heroes. Or visit a national treasure. Join a football league. Or take your kids to a national park. But wherever you go, National will get you there fast. Because with hundreds of locations nationwide, it's hard to find a place that's not a national city. Whoa! National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go!
Are you crazy? No, Johnny, don't!
I got safe!
No, Johnny! Johnny, I'm telling your mother! This isn't funny! Hey, sweetie, are you? Johnny! Johnny?
I got it.
Oh, thank goodness! Johnny? Can I have yours?
I want my students to make a difference. I'm not interested in a student just taking notes to render forth some answers on an examination. I'm challenging my students to be the best they can be, to be truly great, to become leaders that march into the new millennium and make an impact, not just an impression.
Senior day in Columbia, Missouri. 16 seniors for the Tigers playing their final home game at Faurot Field. The Tigers will get the ball to begin the third quarter. And 2 yards deep. Artie Johnson's coming out. And he won't get to the 20-yard line. Stopped at the 18-yard line. And a few moments ago, Jim Knox caught up with Larry Smith of Missouri.
Coach, down 7-0 going into the second half. How are you going to jump start the offense?
Well, we got to start hitting some passes in there, mix it up. I think we can really get our run game going, but we got to be able to mix it up with the pass. We have not executed the pass game. That's going to be the key thing for our offense moving the football.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Drew?
Well, Jim Daugherty, was 1 of 7 throwing the football for 5 yards. Justin Gage played a few series. He was 1 of 2 for 9 yards. That will not get it done. And they go to Zane Gilmore on first down for about 4 or 5 yards. 7-0 Aggies leading as we begin the third quarter. And the numbers at halftime, not a lot of offense by two teams who've been struggling on offense.
One turnover wasn't taken advantage of by Missouri. Look at the field position. The reason it's only 7-0, Missouri has pinned A&M back. Their average drive start inside the 20-yard line. Of course, Missouri hasn't thrown the ball at all, like Coach Smith said, 14 yards passing. And backed up with a very questionable passing attack. You're going to see a lot of running of the football earlier.
Here it is again, Gilmore, and he's stopped right in the hole. Chad Franson, former walk-on, the junior from Diana, Texas, made the play. He was a 12th man originally and worked his way into the defensive lineup. Don't forget to enter this webpage. 3rd down and 7. Daugherty will operate out of the shotgun. Wise comes to the near side.
Oh.
And it's knocked down. And now Jim Daugherty is 1 for 8.
I think that was knocked to the turf by Glenn.
Yeah, Jason Glenn
got his hand up. Yeah, he got airborne. You know, you're taught as a rush guy, nice little spin moves. You're not going to get to the quarterback. Get your hands up and get up. Two-hand swat right there. A little tight spin. Get airborne. Boom. Take it down on the turf. Pretty nice job. That goes in the books as a pass defense, just like a cornerback knocking the ball to the turf down the field.
They probably learned that from his brother Aaron.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing with the Jets. Gilpin will punt, and the Aggies should get pretty good field position. Good punt by Gilpin. And the fair catch is executed by Jason Webster at the 45. Big 12 football is brought to you by Weeks. Randy McCown and the Aggies have it in good shape at the 45. McCown on first down has it complete to Bumgardner at the 39-yard line. Good catch off the deflection. Justin Smith might have gotten a piece of it. Bumgardner at 6'2" is a big target.
Yeah, McCown, he didn't light it up throwing the football either. 7 of 12 for only 76 yards. This is amazing, though. You talk about reroute the football. Justin Smith gets his drop, knocks it airborne right to Bumgardner. I mean, that's amazing. If Justin Smith tried to do that 1,000 times, he couldn't do it that accurately again.
Toombs tackled by Smith. That man is everywhere. They line him up all over the place, and every team tries to account for 96, but few can. Well, sophomore, and he's a future All-American.
He really is, Drew. He's got 7 quarterback sacks, 1 away from the single-season record shared by 5 people at Missouri, and he's also got 14 tackles for loss. So he is a big play guy. And eFollett.com, that's the lineman profile right there on Justin Smith, and he is a defensive stat stuffer.
2nd and 10 after the stuff of the running back. McCown looking for Bethel Johnson. Touchdown. McCown was on the money there. Johnson's 3rd score of the year.
Absolutely just ran away from coverage. No chance for Robertson. Man, just we talked about Bethel Johnson's speed, quick speed. He gets from 0 to 60 very, very quickly. He's got that acceleration. He's got quickness and speed. He's got it all.
Yeah, he goes 0 to 60 faster than the first few cars I own.
I'm telling you. My goal is to finish a 40. His goal, he runs at about 4.2.
Shane Leckler for the extra point. It's 14-0 Aggies, as they have now scored on their opening drive, not only the football game, but of the second half. We're back in Columbia, Missouri. The Aggies have taken a 14-0 lead. Bethel Johnson, who's as fast as a hiccup, ran a go route, and he goes faster than most everybody else on the football field.
Either Bailey was looking a little stiff there, wasn't he?
Yeah, and a little unhappy.
Yeah, he'll be a little more flexible.
Travis Garvin, who can go, crosses the 20 to the 25-yard line.
Okay, let's take a look at what Bethel Johnson did here. Nothing fancy. He's just going to run a go pattern. Right there, you're playing outside technique. Roberson is. He thinks he's going to get help from Clarence Jones at strong safety. No way, Jose. Just a straight go pattern. And Bethel Johnson is a blur. And Bethel said, see ya. I'm taking it to the house. Randy, put it on my number. Put it on that number 9 for me. And he certainly did. And they just ran a straight go pattern. Randy McCown said, I can't overthrow Bethel. I just got to get it up there. He can run under anything.
13th touchdown pass of the year for Randy McCown. Now Missouri needs to answer. And the ball's loose. Gilmore puts it on the ground. Aggie football at the 29. Lonnie Madison recovers it. And Missouri is now in big trouble.
I think it might have been Franson that stripped it out of there. I think he was around the pile.
Jason Glenn was there as well.
See who ended up. I mean, it was stacked up pretty good by A&M. They did a pretty good job of stuffing. Yeah, it was. They ripped it ripped it right out of there. Good eyes. Glenn pulls it out of there. causes the fumble, and A&M gets a very, very short field. One key in this football game was who had the short field to negotiate, or who could negotiate the short field opportunities.
And on first down, it is complete to Bumgardner, Randy McCown's best friend. He told us yesterday that when he gets married, Bumgardner is going to be his best man. And he tries to keep him happy on Saturday afternoon.
He's a hard-nosed kid.
Look at the last 6 quarters, Dave.
Man, hey, right here, 2 big ones. No points, 3 turnovers. Second and 5. That tells pretty much the story right there.
And now you start looking around. You start wondering how you're going to get it done. On the option, Toombs carrying the football. Flag comes in as Justin Smith makes another tackle.
Might be holding on the edge, though. It looked like Erickson was being grabbed out on the perimeter by Mahan. See if they called that.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul, still second down.
Mahan coming into the season, A&M, well, he's our 4th tackle. All of a sudden, due to injury, as a redshirt freshman, there he is, hucking and bucking in the offensive line. He's come along pretty well.
Well, they lost Shea Holder early. Right. Also, Tango McCauley, another tackle, out of there. Last season, the Aggies went all 14 games with the same 5 on the offensive line. McCowan gets it away, and a broken tackle. Look out, here's Cole. Still going inside the 15 to the 14. First catch of the day for Chris Cole, a missed tackle, and the Aggies knocking at the door again.
Who missed that tackle? Was it Clarence Jones? It was Clarence Jones that missed that tackle. Now, the catch is one thing, but yards after catch is the problem. Boy, there were significant yards after catch by Cole once Clarence Jones could not wrap him up and take him to the turf.
We've seen Hodge make catches, Taylor, Cole now, Bumgardner. Johnson was in the end zone. Outstanding wide receivers for the Aggies. Toss sweep, cutting it back is Jamar Toombs inside the 10. The Aggies' focus all week was coming here trying to get a win and get ready for the University of Texas.
Well, Toombs is the hero, but watch the block. The fullback in front of Toombs. Watch Hardiman. Lead it. Boom. Right to the turf. Takes the linebacker, Odom, right down to the turf. And Odom slaps his hands in frustration because that caused too big a gash for other people to cover up.
They got one offense with no confidence and another that's gaining some. They go to Toombs. Toombs. Touchdown. Carry it, folks. That was vintage Jamar Toombs. 265 pounds coming right at you. Clarence Jones got a ride into the end zone.
Yeah, he should give Toombs a quarter for that ride.
And Lonnie Madison made the recovery of the fumble after Jason Glenn knocked it loose from Zane Gilmore. And then a few plays later, the Aggies in the end zone again.
Glenn's had a couple of nice defensive series. He had that batted pass, and he ripped that ball out there, forcing a fumble. Big time.
Shane Leckler makes it 21-0 with 9:53 to go in the third quarter. Now Seth McCenner's a sophomore. Chris Valletta, the left guard, is a junior. They opened up an enormous hole for Jamar Toombs.
Well, they sure did. McKinney, though, a redshirt sophomore, and he's been playing football for a while. Toombs, boy, that 9-yard touchdown run, nothing fancy there. Just let the big fella carry people into the end zone.
And Travis Garvin catches the kick, but he's 8-9 yards deep. He'll put a knee down, and Missouri will have it at their own 20. Here's a look at the touchdown again.
Watch the center and left guard in particular. You got a stunt. Looping right there. Valletta stays after him. Watch McKinney. Pancake. Put some syrup on that bad boy, and then Toombs is taking the end zone. Watch once again. Valletta drives the stunning tackle away. McKinney comes off on the linebacker, and then Toombs takes it to the house.
Toombs got a pancake also.
Yeah, he had a stack.
Yeah, he had a double stack.
Yeah, he's just he's getting full right now.
Let's go get it.
That's just nothing. There's not a better feeling for an offensive line than just obliterate like that.
Two tight ends. Doherty on first down to throw it, and it's dropped. The football was dropped by Kent Lehman. They've been trying to get Kent Lehman involved more, but he is without a catch today. The senior from Kirkwood, Missouri.
Well, the passing attack today has been basically like watching root canal surgery. Very painful. You know, it just hasn't been easy at all. When there's receivers have been open, the ball's been inaccurate. When the receivers have been open, there hasn't been protection. It just has not clicked at all.
Gilmore comes out of the pile for about 5 yards. It'll set up 3rd down and 5. You know, Missouri this year is a very young offensive football team. Only 3 returning starters from a year ago when they went 8-4. Look at the point distribution by class. 3 touchdowns by the seniors, none by the juniors. The sophomore and freshmen have scored all the points. Now that's great for your future,
right? But
growing pains in 1999.
Well, 190 of the 208 points. I mean, that's unbelievable.
The offensive line also very young.
Clock action.
Flag.
Couldn't have been clock, is it already? We started that bad boy quick. Must have a roast in the oven when we get home.
False start on the offense. 3-yard penalty. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah. Those 3-yard penalties are rare.
Do you know what? I thought Terry Turlington was creating a new type of penalty, a 3-yard.
Yeah, it might have been one of those. It was offside, but I didn't really mean to. So it's instead of 5, it's only 3. I don't know.
It's only 60%. Well, instead of 3rd and 5, it's 3rd and 10, and you're talking about a team that has just 2 completions today throwing the football. Doherty's 1 of 9 now. He's had a couple of drops. Whoa. This ball's up for grabs, and Curry knocked it away as they were trying to get it to Travis Garvin, and another 3 and out for the Tigers.
Well, you have Gilmore trying to pass protect on Bradley. Watch what happens right here. Bradley bull rushes. You get a mismatch against the running back. He just bull rushes him into the quarterback's lap. As a result of that pressure, can't get the football down the field like he would like to. So that's tough, Bradley, on a running back.
Yeah, linebackers drool when they see that. Jared Gilpin will punt it deep. Chris Taylor at his own 40. And this is end over end. Taylor's cut down immediately. A punt of 40. Nothing doing on the return. Good coverage by Sean Doyle. Faroe Field, but most of 55,000 have been sitting on their hands. The Aggies lead 21-0 with Dave Lapham and Jim Knox. I'm Drew Goodman. 6th meeting ever between these two schools. The Aggies have never lost to the Tigers. Cowan wants a deep shot again. Oh. And it is incomplete. Chris Cole was down the field, and the coverage by Andre Roberson.
Nice little naked bootleg again by McCown that really fooled Justin Smith. Justin Smith bit on the play fake, and then he reroutes himself and says, "Oop, he's out on the edge." Lost the ball up there on the run. Little subtle push-off by Cole to establish a little bit of an advantage. Still, Roberson's there to make the play. Is incomplete, short of Bumgardner right at midfield. It'll be 3rd down and 10. McCown couldn't really transfer his weight and go through the proper mechanics on that one, throwing off his back foot, falling away from the line of scrimmage a little bit. Dave, let me ask you a question about Justin Smith. We've seen him a number of times the last 2 years. This guy is a sensational talent. When he eventually plays in the NFL, is he an end or is he a linebacker? That's a great question. I mean, I think he's more of a linebacker type. If he's going to play defensive end, I think he better put on at least another 10 pounds, which he may be capable of doing. The count on 3rd down. Trying to get the deep slant.
to Hodge, but he was high and away. So 3 and out for the Aggies, but we have a flag down back at the 36-yard line.
Got a hold on A&M, so that's going to be declined. Missouri will have him punted away. You know, the thing about Justin Smith.
On the offense, penalty is declined, 4th down.
The thing about Justin Smith that we were just talking about, I think he'd be a perfect candidate to play over the tight end. Strong side outside linebacker, maul the tight end, really be stout at the point of attack in the running game, and you can blitz him a little bit. And he doesn't have, you know, all that many coverage responsibilities. That'd be his biggest adjustment, would be to drop back in the zones in the pass.
Tackles he makes a game for a guy in the trenches.
Yep.
Leckler shows his athletic ability. There was a little bit errant. And again, he gets a favorable roll inside the 10-yard line, deadened at the 7. Add a 54-yard punt to his resume. Of course, that'll take things down because he was averaging about 56 yards.
Yeah, 56.8 in the first half. Ridiculous.
First half, we'll see if he can get anything generated for this young Missouri offense, which is in a funk right now. Give it to Chirambolo, and he goes straight ahead on a quick trap for about 3 yards.
Once again, Leckler, what a weapon. Averaging over 56 yards per punt. I mean, here's a guy that every time he punts the ball in this game, a half a football field, a field position hangs in the balance, depending on the return. I can't tell you how big a weapon that is. Every time it comes off his foot, he's gaining a half a football field for his teammates. That is immeasurable.
That's why R.C. Slocum says he's their MVP. Zane Gilmore, and he'll get it out to about the 15-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and about 1.5 yards for Missouri. 7:18, 7:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. 21-0, Texas A&M. Last year was a great football game. We showed you earlier it came down to final play of the game, 17-14. The Aggies held on and beat Missouri.
Yeah, and it came down to the kicking game. You know, the punting and the actual kicking it, not coverage and returns. It was the punter and the place kicker was better for A&M in that football game.
Hobbling off the field, Brandon Ford.
That's a big old tight end. They've got a couple of horses on the edge at the tight end position now. They will tilt the field.
Well, Dwayne Blakely is a tremendous player, 6'4", close to 270, the sophomore tight end, number 85, but they haven't been able to get him involved today.
They wanted to get him 4 to 6 catches today if they could.
On the option, Gage reroutes. But so A&M players, and on 3rd and short, Missouri loses a whole bunch.
Boy.
Jason Glenn, Evan Peroni, and Larry Smith just can't believe it. And he thought there was a face mask at the end of the play also.
Yeah, he thought there was. I mean, you get up high. There's a big chance of getting it up in the get up in the headgear. There's a good chance. There's a face mask initially on the initial charge. I mean, grabbed and rerouted his head. I mean, look at Franson. Just grabs a face mask and oh boy, it's almost like The Exorcist. He almost turns his head all the way around. And then Gilmore rights himself to get down the line of scrimmage. How can you miss that one? But it was missed.
So Gilpin will punt it away again. Good effort by Gilpin. And the Aggies scatter. And Missouri will down it at the 49-yard line, a punt of 40.
Well, let's take a look at A&M's 3 scoring plays. Toombs on the first drive of the game finishes from inside the 5-yard line. McCown goes over the top here. He's got speed to Byrne and Johnson. He finds him. Then Toombs follows it up with his second rushing touchdown of the day. Easy for me to say, behind a tremendous surge by the boys up front. That big offensive line, the Hogs between the hash marks.
5:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Aggies, great field position. Toombs is dropped in the backfield. It's the freshman linebacker Sean Doyle, 32, who is a high school All-American and recruited by a whole lot of folks Recruited by Nebraska, Kansas, Michigan, Kansas State, decided to come to Mizzou. Arsitko, you know me. I'm one of the most tenured coaches in the Big 12. My last coaching stop was Southern Cal. Who am I?
Oh, Tom Stoner being a little tricky on this one. A little tricky.
It is a clever question. McCown with time. Deep shot into coverage, and interference is called. Chris Cole was double covered as the safety came over. Larry Hollenquest was the cornerback in coverage.
Yeah, Hollenquest got a little bit of a body push going on before the arrival of the football.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, previous run, first down.
Take a look. Here's Hollenquest. Gets right arm on the shoulder pad and pushes Cole. That's the call. As Cole's trying to get himself braced to jump, he gets pushed. Hollenquest pushes him, not allowing Cole an opportunity to get airborne. The official right on top of that.
Would have been tough to catch.
Yeah, he would have had to get up with about a 41-inch vert.
So from the 34-yard line, here's Toombs picking his way for about 12 yards to the 22-yard line. Maybe the longest carry of the day for Jamar Toombs. You know, he's not going to take it 60, but he's going to wear you down.
Well, Toombs is a guy that when in order to stop him, you got to make his shoulder pads turn to the sideline. When they're right square to the line of scrimmage like this, you're in trouble. It's hard to get your helmet across the bow because that's a very big, broad bow.
63 yards on 20 trips. As long, you just saw it, 12 yards. His longest of the year is just 19. Here's Tiki Hardiman trying to find space. He cannot. Getting involved, the strong safety, number 8, Clarence Jones. And it'll be second down and about 10.5 to go. And right now up 21 points. Texas A&M, they'll be content to run the football and use clock.
Well, this is symptomatic of how things have gone the last month for Missouri. Struggles so much offensively, the defense wears down. Play a good half, and then short fields, and they're just on the football field. Too many snaps, and they just start to wear out. And that's what's happening here again.
Out of the gun, they'll run it. Here's Hardiman. He gets to the 15-yard line. Julian Jones, the free safety, made that tackle, setting up a third down. A reminder, next week, we're not sure where we're headed. Either Missouri at Kansas State or Oklahoma against Spike Dykes' Texas Tech Red Raiders. 12:30 in the East, 9:30 in the West. Third down and 5 for the Aggies. Same play, Hardiman, big opening, first down. Jones saves the touchdown at the 7-yard line.
DeAndre Hardiman on the carry.
Boy, the left side of the offensive line for Texas A&M is operating very, very efficiently right now. They did a great job for Toombs on his touchdown carry. Watch them operate here. Kick out block, little seal, and then the Toombs with the lead block. He says, hey, Hardiman, you've been lead blocking for me, so I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to return the favor, and Hardiman took advantage of it. Nice block by Toombs.
The half-ton backfield, toss sweep, Toombs, look out, third touchdown of the day. That's just physical football, and they keep running left.
Yeah, they do. The left side of the line is establishing themselves. They've got a big old fullback and a bigger old tailback, and they're just absolutely wearing out Missouri's defense. Missouri's defense is taking way too many snaps. When they study the game tape tomorrow, well, the offense will be out in a half an hour. The defense will take 2.5 hours to look at it.
Leckler trying to make it 28, and he does so. 28-0. It was 7-0 at halftime, and Mo Ankney, the defensive coordinator for Missouri, probably thinks sense that this one looks a lot like last week's loss to Oklahoma, and that they were down just 10-0 at halftime against Oklahoma. Felt like they were very much in it. This week, the same story. Defense was playing pretty well outside of the opening drive, but now a short field, and Texas A&M has taken advantage.
Well, they really have, and they've been finishing, inside the 10-yard line. It's just about being physical. Led it with a nice little pull, gets the outside linebacker hooked, and then Toombs just runs through tackles. Man, they just slide down his big, thick legs like he's a barber pole, just hammering away in there. And it's hard to wrap your arms around him. He's such a wide body. You hit and you wrap. He's hard to wrap. It's like bear hugging a tree.
Am I on? You're on, Jamar.
He's got a little swell on that right eye. I don't know if he took an inside jab right there from the world champion.
My grandma, Uncle B. What's up, everybody?
They're saying hello to everybody.
They want to make sure you get everybody in the family. Got some of the extended family in as well.
Really?
28-0 Aggies. Jamar Toombs has 70 yards rushing now. They have been without a 100-yard rusher all season. Artie Johnson thought about it, put a knee down. Well, here's our trick question of the day.
Yeah.
Sitko, you know me. I'm one of the most tenured coaches in the Big 12. My last coaching stop, Southern Cal. Who am I?
You're both coaches.
That's
you're
right.
R.C. Slocum and you're Larry Smith.
See, Larry Smith's the easy answer. He was the head coach at Southern Cal between 87 and 92. But for 1 year, R.C. Slocum was the defensive coordinator at Southern Cal before coming back to his roots in Aggie land.
Tom Stoner playing a little mental gymnastics with everybody,
And those two men are very good friends.
Yes.
In fact, R.C. Slocum had Larry Smith over his house for a couple of days, and Larry took a year off from coaching as Justin Gage throws it complete to Garvin, and he's out to the 31-yard line, a first down. But he had him over his house when Smith was traveling around the country visiting with some other coaches.
And you have the mock cheer going on because Missouri generated a first down and moved the chains, and the fans erupt. But yeah, you have a case where Larry Smith went all over the country seeing different coaches, how they handle practice. The scoring drive right here by the Buick, sponsored by Buick, and Toombs is saying thank you to Buick and everybody.
He's still going.
Yeah.
He's got a big family, evidently. Gage to Garvin, and he overthrows him. Garvin ran a little corner route, and he was open, and Justin Gage just missed him. There's going to be quite a quarterback battle in spring football for the Missouri Tigers. You have Daugherty.
Right.
You have Justin Gage, who's a wonderfully talented athlete. Kirk Farmer, who went to the same high school as Justin Gage, is a tremendous athlete, was starting to emerge at quarterback this year before breaking his leg. And they also have Darius Outlaw, a true freshman they like a bunch.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Outlaw and Gage, they may be safeties next year, free and strong safety for the football team. Who knows?
Gilmore trying to cut it wide, and the Wrecking Crew defense responds. Royland Bradley sewed that one up.
I think there have been many factors in the offense not being able to produce, but Farmer breaking both bones in his leg at Iowa State was probably the biggest, because right there you see Kirk Farmer, and he was really starting to establish himself. He put more pressure on the offensive line, put more pressure on Daugherty, and he's healing up pretty well, though. He's already running in the whirlpool, in the pool, and he's riding a bike, so they expect a full recovery, and hopefully he'll be able to participate in the spring.
He's one of the best athletes Missouri has. Gage.
Oh.
Was it picked? No. Trapped by Webster. Jason Webster on the flight back to College Station tonight is going to say, you know what, I could have had about 3 or 4 picks today.
Yep. And all he does is say, well, I'm just going to stay in the game and field this punt. Let's take a look at Gate. Nowhere to go at the football in terms of throwing, because he's being pressured, falling away from the line of scrimmage, and it definitely short hop to Webster. He tried to talk the official into it, though. Held the ball aloft immediately, saying, I made the play.
10th punt of the day for Jared Gilpin. By the way, Missouri just 2 of 12 on third downs. And Taylor hit right as he caught the football, a punt of just 35 yards. 28-0 Aggies. Big Big 12 football has been brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. By the all-new 2000 Buick LeSabre by Buick, re-engineered to be safer than ever. And by Southwestern Bell. Southwestern Bell, friendly neighborhood global. Jesse Hall on the campus of the University of Missouri here in Columbia. And McCown thrown underneath. Jamar Toombs with some running room. Uh-oh, look at Toombs go. Julian Jones saved the touchdown. That's the longest Jamar has run. Probably since he was running around the neighborhood as a little kid.
I'll tell you, Baumgartner had a heck of a block at about the 35, 40-yard line to spring Toombs for a little bit more. But it's a situation where a little play fake to Toombs, then they go to him. And he separates from Odom, starts to run away from him. Watch the block, Baumgartner right there. You couldn't quite see it on the screen a little bit, but nice little peel back block, and Toombs is off to the races. Watch Baumgartner right here. Boom! Little crackback, little peel back block, little blindside ear hole shot. Ooh, those are painful.
You got 42. Tiki Hardiman carrying folks to the 16-yard line. Sean Doyle along with Justin Smith bring him down. You know, that's like a long jog for Jamar Toombs. I mean, he's maxed out right there at 42 yards.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like an alligator. You know, they can move fast for short time frames, and then they're totally spent. It takes a long time to regenerate, get energy back. Toombs is he's sucking it up pretty good.
He's a 4 or 5 yard guy. He's 42 yards is a long run. Here's Toombs. Sean Doyle again at the bottom of the pile. It'll be 3rd down and 3 inside 1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter. In a slugfest that is starting to be dominated by the Aggies.
Pat Mangucci is in the football game for the Missouri Tigers. Big inside defensive lineman. He's fighting a little bit of a knee problem. They didn't know how many snaps they'd be able to get out of him today, but he's out there battling.
Count on the backside, just a little bit too tall for Chris Cole. And it'll be 4th down. And I imagine we'll see Leckler.
Here he comes, the all-purpose kicker today, doing it all, kicking off, punting, dictating field position with his punting. Now trying to hit the little 32-yard field goal.
This will be from 32 yards away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he drew it back in. So Leckler tags on 3 more. For the Aggies, they lead 31-0 with 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. See, Reveille travels, Dave.
Strong.
BCS, current ratings, Florida State #1. At number 5, Kansas State. At number 6, Nebraska. And at number 11, if we could see number 11, you would see the University of Texas. So the Big 12 is well represented. Of course, Kansas State and Nebraska play each other later this afternoon in Lincoln.
Battle Royale there. Kansas State is in for a serious challenge, though, with the red wave that they'll be embarking upon in Lincoln. Yeah. Kansas State's defense is sound. Nebraska's is sound. It's going to be who can move the football. I mean, which offense is going to be able to move the football in that football game, and which offense would be able to balance itself well enough to move the football, because I think both defenses are capable of making the other offense one-dimensional. So let's see who can have the 1-2 punch, not just the, you know, follow the left jab up with the right cross kind of thing.
Nebraska may be slightly more consistent on offense this year than Kansas State. And again, Leckler boots it into the end zone. Missouri will start again at their own 20-yard line as we glance at the Buick scoring drive. 5 plays, 49 yards. Leckler's first field goal this season from 32 yards away. Jamar Toombs had most of the yards on a 42-yard pass reception on a little underneath throw that he rumbled down the field with from Randy McCown. Jim Doherty's back in at quarterback. Now Jamar's making phone calls. And the catch is made. No, it was dropped. Kent Lehman swears he caught it.
The official is saying that he basically made the catch because the ground allowed him to secure the football when he extended. Lehman's upset.
Now they'll say he did catch it.
And he goes full extension, secures the ball, pulls it in, has his right arm under the ball.
And that's good work by the officiating crew.
Oh,
the bottom line is get it right.
Yeah, and my thing is if it's close and a kid makes that kind of an effort, give him the ball, give him the play.
Ball at the 26.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter. It was 7-0 at halftime. The Aggies have blown it wide open. They lead 31-0, looking for their first road win of the year. Face of Jamar Toombs, why not? He looked up at the scoreboard and he saw his school leading 31-0. 3 chapters closed in Columbia, Missouri. Drew Goodman, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox on a beautiful, beautiful afternoon in Columbia. Not so beautiful, I guess, if you're a Tiger fan. Second down and 4 yards to go for Missouri. Doherty under a blitz, has it to Blakely finally, and he'll get a first down after the 37-yard line.
No, it's Blakely's 20th catch of the season. He's got 5 touchdowns at this point in time. Watch Blakely on the just release off the line of scrimmage, run a little pop pass as he hits the linebacker level and move the chains.
Missouri has gone 7 quarters without a touchdown. Their last touchdown came on the final drive of the game against Texas Tech. And Franson had a pick and he dropped it.
Yes, he did.
Kent Lehman, the intended target. Chad Franson had it right between the 5 and 9. And that, as coaches say, is why he is a linebacker.
He had great recognition. Watch him right here. Great recognition. Gets a nice drop. Watch him just get right in the passing lane. Perfect drop. Man, it's like Doherty didn't see him, but he couldn't have missed him. Looked like he was the intended receiver.
He's 6'2" and 235 pounds.
He's not camouflaged.
No. Second and 10. Doherty. Deep ball toward Garvin, and he overthrows him. Webster was running right with Garvin. It'll be third down. And Doherty, as he released it, got knocked on his backside.
Yes, he did. Unceremoniously, he was deposited.
Ron Edwards knocked him down, the nose tackle. So now it's third and 10. One thing they say about Jim Doherty, he makes the most of his ability. He has a sixth sense of where to go with the football, probably because he grew up the son of a head coach.
Right.
And the other thing is that despite what he may look like, 6'4" and kind of wiry, he is as tough as they come.
He is tough. They wanted to hit that weight room and get a little stronger.
He hangs in. This will be picked off. Jamison with it. And Jamison, with his 4th pick of the year, Brian Gamble tipped it.
Yes.
And Jamison picked it off. The junior from Killeen, Texas.
The linebackers getting nice drops in pass coverage. And Gamble got it airborne. Doherty right here. You can see the route being run. And you see what Doherty sees. Throws the football. It's tipped underneath by Gamble. And at that point in time, it's an easy play.
Mama, Daddy, Lisa.
You got a happy young man right there, Jamison.
From the Missouri 46.
Texas A&M hands it off. Tiki Hardeman busts through. Excuse me, it's Joe Weber, 28. not 20. Joe Weber's first carry of the day. The true freshman from San Bernardino, California. A high school All-American. Here's his season numbers. He almost took that one the distance.
Well, they've got some big horses, and you know he's behind a big fullback. Tiki gets the lead block, and Weber says, "Thank you. You know I'm capable as a tailback as well." Boy, once he gets to the linebacker level, there's nobody to be found. He just creases it.
Yeah, he's not as big as Toombs, but he's not small either.
Get some horses in that stable.
He gets another call, heading downhill, inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
I'll tell you, Tiki is a good blocker now. They've missed him as a lead blocker in the backfield. That was the mark on Jamar Toombs. The only question they had was he going to be a good enough blocker, work on that blocking? But Hardiman, there was no doubt in the coaching staff's mind that he would knock people around. And he's back, and he is laying the leather to some folks.
The Aggies call a timeout. 13:39 to go in the fourth quarter. They're dominating 31-0. Good luck, Jay. Tigers, nada. Don't forget to enter the Southwestern Bell homecoming giveaway. Call 877.
Keys for Texas A&M was running the first down production. They've run the ball 22 times on first down. Over 6 yards of play on first down.
Taylor departs. Hardiman gets the football. Tiki. That's a touchdown and two-hand touch. Touchdown Tiki with just his second score of the year. A couple seasons ago, he had 17.
Tiki went sailing through there like Kon-Tiki, boy. I mean, there was absolutely, they just sliced him up front. Texas A&M's offensive line has just really established themselves at the line of scrimmage. Jamison set the whole thing up with the deflected interception that he accepted from Gamble.
Leckler, who had the point after.
And the extra point is missed. Shane Leckler, that's the first thing he's done wrong all year. Fortunately for the Aggies, I don't think they'll need that point. 37-zip, they lead. Score sounds eerily familiar to Missouri. That's what they lost by last week. And of course, Texas A&M lost 37-0. But right now, they have the 37.
Yes.
Well, Dave, if you're Missouri, you just want to get something going offensively to carry a little bit of confidence on offense into the final week of the season.
Yeah, that's the key, is right now, not even seeing a glimmer of a light at the end of the tunnel.
I mean, they have not come close to scoring today.
Webster has to hold. What's the wind picking up down there? I guess it's whipping around a little bit. He's got to hold the ball on the kicking team.
He's a perfect guy for it. He never comes off the field.
He does it all. More you can do.
One of the quietest guys on the team. R.C. Slocum says Webster's one of the classiest men he's ever coached. Artie Johnson gets to the 25, still battling. He'll be finished about the 26-yard line, a return of 13. Here's the score again by DeAndre Tiki Hardiman.
Watch the offensive line sustain the blocks. Oh boy, just guys getting knocked off their feet. Nobody separating from the blocks. A&M is just obliterating people up front. Leckler, yanks it a little bit. He saw the green monster and up the left field wall and tried to attack it.
Justin Gage, the quarterback this series for the Tigers. He was an all-state basketball player, good enough to play in the Big 12.
Good game.
And he'll do well to get a couple of yards there. Ron Edwards tackled him.
Well, let's see what Missouri wanted to do. They wanted to stone Toombs. Well, 71 yards isn't all that much, but 3 touchdowns is big. Break a big run. Longest run of the day, only 9 yards, so get negative, block. That's 3 negatives. That's why you're losing by 37 points. Couldn't get anything done there of their game plan keys. Well, there's more pizza being ordered today. These guys are on the phone just... pizza pies. Gage
gives to Gilmore. And he gets That's about a yard, Dave, between pizza pies. Can you tell us about the Texas A&M game plan?
What did they want to do? Score an early offensive touchdown? They certainly did to start the game. 17 plays. Return to the wrecking crew. Certainly have done that. They've stoned Missouri offensively. First down production. They've averaged 6.3. So they get the big pluses.
So they get one of these, right?
Yeah, they get an 8+. And Missouri, should have to say D- or maybe worse.
3rd down and 7 for Gage. And over the head of Garvin. And nearly intercepted, so another 3 and out. It will be 5 punts, an interception, and a fumble thus far in the half for the Missouri Tigers. And this is the 11th time that Jarrett Gilpin will be asked to punt the football. And you see Larry Smith, he has a stopwatch in his hand, in his right hand.
Right.
And he wants to make sure, we talked about this earlier, that his punter is averaging about 4.2 or better of hang time.
Here's Taylor, deep for A&M.
That will not hang in the air for 4.2 seconds. Taylor gets away, and it takes a wonderful hop for Gilpin. This will help the old average.
Yeah.
A punt of 66 yards. The Aggies leading. They have bounced back from their shutout loss a week ago.
Well, they really have. Both these teams lost 37-0 last week. Football is a game of getting up off the ground when you knock down and showing resiliency. And R.C. Slocum is going to be proud of his football team today, showing quite a bit of resiliency. And Missouri is still struggling to get up off the ground. And Larry Smith still got a lot of work to do with the young Missouri Tigers offensive football team. Really can't get any kind of a rhythm established.
Joe Weber struggles out to the 5-yard line. And it'll be 2nd and 8. Mark Farris is in at quarterback now for the Aggies. He is a very interesting story. Farris is 24 years of age, yet he's a true freshman because he spent 5 years as a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, reached the AA level, former #1 pick, in fact. Here's Weber picking his spot, and he'll get to about the 6-yard line. And then he was knocked down by Julian Jones and Sean Doyle, 32. It'll be 3rd down. Randy McCowan's day is done. He got the shoulder pads off, so you know it's done.
That's a good sign.
He bounced back also. He struggled last week. He threw 4 interceptions. He was sacked 8 times in Lincoln, Nebraska. But he showed his resiliency.
Yeah, he did. And there's one thing that you're going to never have to worry about with Randy McCowan as a quarterback, and that's toughness, courage, all those intangible attributes. I mean, he is definitely a leader of this football team.
On 3rd down, Weber trying to break a tackle, and he won't get close to the 1st down. We had an opportunity to talk to Randy on the team's outlook the final couple of weeks.
We used to have a very successful season. You know, we win these last 2 games, we go to a bowl game and win it. And, you know, 9-3, there's a lot of teams that would love to be 9-3, you know, at the end of this season. So we're very optimistic for these last few games. You know, we feel good that, you know, we can still, you know, get better. And so we're going to try to. You know, we're out of the Big 12 South, but we're still going to try to, you know, win these last ball games.
Artie Johnson back at his own 45. Shane Leckler into the wind. This is not a typical Leckler effort.
He's getting every roll out of it he possibly can, though.
But it's still not awful. 36 yards on the punt. But he's not pleased with it.
No. You know, it's unbelievable when you can mishit a punt and nets 36 yards out of it. Not too shabby.
He's one of those guys in an NFL team. He's not only going to draft, but probably draft in the middle rounds.
Right.
Yeah, he's that big a weapon.
Yeah, well, Martin Dramatic could get drafted in the 3rd round. Leckler could be a 3rd or a 4th round draft pick as well because, you know, any level of football, determining and dictating field position is instrumental. He can do that.
He's also the emergency quarterback. Gage throwing. And Brandon Ford, the intended target, incomplete.
Gage looks like an athlete, doesn't he? I mean, he's definitely got the thoroughbred. 6'5", close to a couple 100 pounds. We talked about earlier, can really hoop.
You know, he looks a lot like Kirk Farmer, body type-wise.
Right.
Pretty good high school. Jefferson City High School. You got Farmer for a couple years. Right. You got Justin Gage. That's not bad.
Not bad. You know, this kid, he played 1 year of quarterback in high school, like you said. He'd been a safety prior to that, and really was an option quarterback. So he hasn't been firing and falling back all that often.
And they missed connections. He was trying to hand the football to Gilmore. Did the smart thing and ran straight ahead. He'll get about 2 or 3 yards. Now a flag comes in late. And we'll have to sort things out. 9:23 to go. This game flew along until the fourth quarter, and then somebody put the pause button on the clock.
Yeah, really. They put Groundhog Day. It just seems to be going back.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense. Dead ball. Personal foul on the offense. Offset. Third down.
They get a little frustration, you know, that's about to spill over. What Gage did when he did not execute the handoff, at least he hit the designated hole. And you have to be able to have presence of mind to do that because the offensive line is blocking a designated spot. You have to hit it up where they're getting their thing done. RC's laughing about the call. Can't quite comprehend that it was offsetting penalties on the personal foul.
3rd and 7. And a good strike that time by Gage. He got Kareem Wise, and Kareem had to catch that. That was a fastball. Would have stuck to his uniform.
Yes, sir. Coaches say that he has got plenty of arm strength. The thing that he can stretch the football field. You have to work on the accuracy. This time, he showed zip on the ball as well as accuracy. I mean, that was just a frozen rope to Wise. That ball would have stayed dry going through the car wash. One of those kind of shots.
Missouri with one of their deepest penetrations all day, the plus 30-yard line. Short drop, another fastball to Wise, and he'll have it to the 17-yard line. A pickup of 13.
Well, Gage throws the outback route very, very well. I mean, he gets it there in a hurry. He's the kind of guy, once he does establish the accuracy, he's going to be able to get it into tight spots that a lot of quarterbacks wouldn't even consider throwing to.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Larry Smith said something interesting at the start of this season. He said, this is the best talent we've had at Missouri since I've been there, but the least experience.
Right.
Gage, fade route, and Garvin got tied up with Webster. That'll be interference on Webster.
We got a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Oh no, that's in the other league. This one's only half the distance to the goal as they're inside the 20-yard line. I was thinking about Sunday football.
Yeah, Sunday football, they just hand it to you at the 1.
Yeah, they do. They say, you mess up like that, we're going to penalize you basically by allowing them to score a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
And the rule works the other way in college. You almost want to teach your kid if he beat bad enough, tackle the guy. It's only a 15-yard penalty.
Right.
Terry Turlington will tell us about it.
Pass interference on the defense. The ball will be placed by rule on the 2-yard line. 1st down.
Oh, it is. Gosh, it is. It is to the 2-yard line. At any rate, you can see the jostling going on. Webster and Garvin. And Webster is called. Is it in college football? Is it interference when it occurs in the end zone? It's just like in the big league, huh?
Well, they have a chance for Dave to end the drought. More than 7 quarters without a point. Gage,
fade,
and Webster had that one well covered. And Travis Garvin will pick himself up. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
You know, you really, as a coach, calling plays offensively, when you can't really muster anything, it's a very, very difficult task. I mean, the play selection sheet starts to get almost minuscule. Like, gee, we can't run the football. We can't run between the tackles. We can't take it outside. We can't throw the football. Boy, it becomes almost a monumental task to call something.
Justin Smith in the game at fullback. They go to Zane Gilmore, airborne. He doesn't get in. Stuffed at about the 1-yard line.
Smith ended up on his backside. Franson and Justin Smith had a heck of a collision, and Justin Smith ended up backwards. They're laughing about it a little bit. Franson was pushing him. Watch Justin Smith at the fullback position, take it in, and boom, ended up going backwards. You can see him landing on his back. He and Franson had a pretty nice collision.
Well, this is what football's all about, and these kind of plays tell you a lot about Larry Smith and R.C. Slocum, because this is how they like to play football.
It's just smash you in the mouth. If you're good enough to crease the goal line, you earned it.
Gage, play action, touchdown of Blakely. And a huge cheer from the crowd left at Faurot Field. Missouri's first touchdown in a couple of weeks. About 7.5 quarters.
Well, Blakely now has 21 receptions on the season, and that's his 6th touchdown catch. Pretty productive.
And Justin Gage has his first career touchdown throw.
Yes, he does. And now on his career, 25 receptions for Blakely, 7 touchdowns. Boy, that's a darn good ratio of touchdown scores per catch.
Brad Hammerich, as Justin Gage will watch from the sideline in to attempt the extra point. And it is 37-7. Dwayne Blakely in the end zone, 37-7 Aggies. And the kick through the end zone. And we pay a visit to Jim Knox. Knoxy.
All right, Drew, very special day here at the University of Missouri, because this is the last game of the old press box here in Columbia, Missouri. That's right. It was built back in 1968. Come Monday, they will take the wrecking ball to it. And by this time next year, in fact, by the time they kick the season off, they will have a brand new press box complete with luxury boxes, club level seating, so plenty of room to stretch out for you guys when we come back next year. And how about this? In memory of the old press box, they dished out a few T-shirts here by the University of Missouri. I tell you what, I'm going to give mine to one of the cadets. Reveille may need a new toy.
That's very nice of you, Jim. Here's Weber breaking off a long run again. Whoa. Joe Weber into the fast lane.
Wow.
He's showing big-time jets. Weber out of bounds inside the 5. In this game, Weber has the 2 longest runs all year for Texas A&M. That one goes 75 yards.
And nothing fancy at all, just an area block, just a zone play. Nice lead block by the fullback. Off to the races goes Weber as he bounces it to the outside. Angle is there. Tackle is finalized. Boy, nice job by Hollenquist staying with that one.
And you know what? With that run, Weber has 119 yards in the game unofficially. That's their first 100-yard back of 1999.
And who would have thunk he would have been the guy coming in this late in the game?
Yeah, he has 6 carries. Give it to him again. Well, he got 75 on the first and then 1.5 yards on the second. Actually got 76 on that first down rush. He showed pretty good speed.
He really did. Not a small man by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, this kid's got a pretty good package going. I mean, he's a freshman, 6 foot, over 220 pounds. He can pick him up and put him down pretty darn well.
Yeah, you may wonder, how did a California kid end up in College Station, Texas? You follow the Aggies, you know, most of their recruiting is within the borders of Texas, but he grew up in Louisiana. So not all that far from College Station. Weber lowers his pad level, gets very close to the goal line. It'll be 3rd down, and you want to bet he gets another opportunity here. They want to pay him off after that long run.
Right. They're saying you're in position to be rewarded, and we want to do it for you. This Missouri defensive unit, it's like they're trying to hold up against a tidal wave. A&M just keeps coming at them, and they didn't get much offensive support the entire football game, and eventually they just crumbled.
Well, it's the same situation as last week against Oklahoma.
Sure.
They just played too many snaps.
Yep. They played 92 snaps against Oklahoma, and they're playing a ton today as well.
Well, and the quarterback keeper, the late call, touchdown Aggies. Mark Farris took it himself, and that is his first career touchdown. But Weber took him all the way to the doorstep.
Steve Craigthorpe, the offensive coordinator, talking to Weber as he took to the sideline, probably saying, you know, that touchdown, but we had to do what we had to do to score. I see Slocum enjoying Weber's performance as well.
One of the toughest things to do in football at any level is bounce back after a tough loss, an embarrassing loss. That's how the Aggies felt last week. As you see that Michael Gavins, the 283-pound sophomore defensive tackle, is on the field for Missouri. Yeah. One of the toughest things to do in football is to bounce back, and bounce back impressively on the road. The Aggies have done that.
Well, they have. You know, they've really struggled on the road. As we mentioned, 0-3. Their one win was at a neutral site in Shreveport. They're 0-3 on the road this season. They're not only going to win, they're going to win big and decisively in every phase of the game, basically. Nothing better than a little old quarterback sneak. The offensive line fires off the football and knocks Missouri backwards. You can see them just popping out of the middle there like a cork. Pad level too high, A&M getting underneath them. And here's Joe Weber's nice little bounce, takes him to the outside. Now it's pure speed, and he's off to the races, and eventually he's caught and taken out of bounds. Proper angle by Hollenquist, and saved the touchdown at that point in time, but later on A&M scored anyway.
So big Michael Gavins getting some help coming off the field. And Terrence Kitchens is in the football game. He's been the place kicker all year until today. He lost his job because he's kicked the number of kicks this year low. He's had 7 blocked, and that one is through there, 44-7 with 6:16 to go in Columbia, Missouri. From Columbia, Missouri, here's an interesting little stat, little note for you. In the last 10 years under R.C. Slocum, other than Texas, Nebraska last week, the first team to beat the Aggies in the month of November.
Wow.
The games they remember are played in November. I'd love to say that. And the Aggies usually strut off the field winners. This goes to one of the up backs, Jason Lewis, a backup inside linebacker, and he gets it out to about the 44-yard line. Let's take a look at our national car rental game summary. The Aggies have broken open a close game in the second half. They've scored on 6 of 8 second half possessions, and they have rumbled to 239 yards on the ground. And McCowan was very good when they threw it.
He was very efficient. Over a couple hundred yards on 21 completions, averaging better than 9 yards per attempt, and pretty hefty completion yards per completion as well. So that's what happens when you run the ball well. The big play becomes available in the passing attack.
And it's their best rushing day of the season. Gage throwing and incomplete. Garvin the intended target. It'll be 2nd and 10. One thing that this blowout has done is enabled Larry Smith to give Justin Gage some more opportunity. It's a whole different deal, not only playing major college football from high school, you understand that.
Sure.
Going from practice to a live game.
Right, and Larry Smith was just absolutely effusive in his praise of how far along Gage has come in such a short time frame. He said the learning curve has almost been straight up from a graph standpoint.
Gage has time, and the underneath throw complete. 5 yards. Artie Johnson, the senior, was hit immediately by Michael Jamison.
You know, one of the big musts for Texas A&M coming into this football game, I heard R.C. Slocum talk about it, and heard Coach Craigthorpe talk about it, was first down productivity. In the first half, Texas A&M had 15 first down snaps and only averaged 2.7 per first down. Second half, 15 first down snaps, 13.8 per first down, for a total of 8.3 on first down for the game.
3rd and 3, complete. Good throw by Gage there. And Garvin hauls it in front of Jay Brooks. It'll be a first down. Clock stops. 44-7 is our score. Let's get an injury update on Michael Gavins. Jim Knox has it. Jim?
Okay, Drew. Michael in a great deal of pain right now. The early diagnosis, a sprained knee. So needless to say, Michael through for the rest of the day.
First and 10, Missouri. Ball at the 42.
That's one of those double pain jobs. Your knee hurts and your soul hurts. Deep ball to Kareem Wise, and it floats out of bounds. Jason Webster had the coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10. That was effortless. He threw that about 50 yards with the flick of the wrist.
Yeah, he has got plenty of arm strength. The thing that he's going to have to learn is touch. How to feather it. Instead of trying to throw it through somebody's sternum every snap, at some point in time when there's a linebacker in coverage, that's dropped into a nice little zone, put it over him in front of the safety, change tempo, change velocity, hair under the ball, different ways, and that'll come.
And that's intercepted. Jamison has it. He's got to beat Gage to the end zone, and he will. Touchdown of the season for Michael Jamison, the junior strong safety.
Amazing. Nose to the end zone. That's kind of what I'm talking about with Gage. He's had a couple of passes deflected now. He tries to throw the ball through everything. At some point, you have to learn the different touches that it takes to play quarterback throwing the football. Boy, has he got some ability to diagnose and then break on the football and finish. Jamison.
This guy has scored more touchdowns than Missouri in a couple of weeks.
No question.
71 yards unofficially on the interception return for Jamison. His 2nd pick of the day. He has 5 this year, and 3 times he's ended up in the end zone. Kitchens makes it 51-7.
Now, bear in mind, it was a 7-0 game at halftime. 7-0 at the half, 44-7 since. Gage once again throws the tight howitzer. Really, that's not really. I was picking on him too much. I mean, he had a tight spot to throw it, and it was deflected by his receiver to Jamison. You can see the receivers on 2 levels. One's running the in pattern. And it was a 3-level deal. Tried to hit the crossing pattern underneath. The ball deflects off of his hands into Jamison's, and off he goes to the races. Jamison, right side of the formation here, inside of the formation defensively, actually. The ball is deflected, and Jamison captures it. He sees golden goalpost now. Look, he's focusing on that pylon. He said, I just got to get inside that pylon, and he beat Gage to the spot.
But you know what? The Aggies have always done this. They always produce points with that wrecking crew defense. The last couple of years, that's what Missouri's done. In fact, last year, Missouri, under Larry Smith, had 6 defensive touchdowns. This year, Dave, they've yet to score defensively.
Right, and they got 13 defensive touchdowns under Larry Smith's tenure here so far.
Artie Johnson has an opening. He's done a good job on returns today. The senior playing his final home football game. He's from Hazelwood East High School in St. Louis. And he gets the Tigers out to the 37-yard line. That's amazing. You look up at the scoreboard, 51-7. You just said it. 7-zip at halftime.
7-zip at the half and 44-7 since. It's been just, I mean, all the wheels fell off simultaneously for Missouri. It was a defensive battle in the first half, and it was no kind of a battle or contest in the second half. It was all Aggie.
Well, Gage's apprenticeship will continue. And that throw a little bit behind Eric Spencer. How much does the fact that he doesn't get as many snaps with the first group in practice have to do with mistiming and behind receivers.
Well, that's a factor. And the other thing is that he is not as comprehensive in his knowledge of the offense as Doherty, so he doesn't have as many checks. I mean, he maybe has about 50% of the checks in his head that Doherty has, so he can't get himself into better situations as readily as Doherty can at the line of scrimmage as well.
They hand it off to Gilmore, and Zane is out above the 45-yard line, very close to a first down. In fact, they're going to probably have to measure. It's right about a 10-yard gain. Next week, we are still waiting to determine if we will be in Manhattan, Kansas for Kansas State and the Missouri.
Sure. They'll say you would have been better off if you broke it.
Gage over the head of Lehman. Jay Brooks had the coverage. 51-7. So next week, Texas A&M will be off, and then on the 26th, they will take on the Texas Longhorns, and they've had success recently against the Longhorns.
Yeah, based on this and their rebound performance here, they won't go into the Texas game thinking they can't win it. There's no question about that. In a rivalry like that, you throw out records anyway. I mean, it's just a dogfight.
Gilmore out of the shotgun on the delay. Not a lot of yards available. Tackle made by Stephen Young. Some of the second and third teamers being shuttled in there for the Aggies.
You know, these snaps, though, will help Gage what he has to do to throw the football accurately down the field. A guy with the arm strength that he has, the most difficult thing to do is know when to take a little bit off of the football. Change speeds. You don't have to be a fastball pitcher all the time. You can throw the curveball and the changeup as well.
To Wise for a first down. He gets twisted around. Nearly lost his shoulder pads.
It's like Quasimodo, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Man, where's the bell? Ring the bell. Look at him, Quasi.
He need a new set of shoulder pads. Fourth catch for Wise today.
Lost his helmet, and if the shirt, if he didn't have a football jersey on, the shoulder pads probably would have come off as well. He's tackled high and ripped off there. He says, I like that. It's good. Caught my ball, accurate enough. Still working on the equipment there, getting Wise back in shape.
Last year, the Aggies lost 26-24 to Texas. They beat the Longhorns 2 years ago. Deep shot, Gage over the head of Artie Johnson. And let's get another injury update from Jim Knox. Jim?
All right, Drew, Harold Robinson will not return the remaining 3 minutes of this game. Left ankle sprain, so he is done for the rest of the day. Robertson.
All right, Jim, 3 minutes left in the football game. 51-7. 11 of 33 today throwing the football for the Missouri Tigers. Gage is 8 of 20. Doherty, who hasn't played in a while, was just 3 of 13. 98 yards in the air. And they'll tack a few more on there as Artie Johnson got the football. They'll pick up about 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
This is basically a passing scrimmage right now for Gage. I mean, this is valuable time for him. Because as you mentioned earlier, Drew, doing it in practice is one thing. The speed of the game is so much different when you actually get in the game as opposed to practice that it's almost impossible. So game snaps, there's no substitute for the experience of game snaps, and he's getting a bunch of them.
3rd and 4, they run Gilmore. He'll have a first down to the 24-yard line. Our Dr. Pepper player of the game today. On the second half, we had a couple of players vie for this honor, but we're going to go with Jamar Toombs, 71 yards, and he got in the end zone 3 times. He had that big 43-yard catch. Right. When it was still a ball game, this guy at times was the best player on the field.
Well, it was 114 yards on 23 touches. When you look at his total yards, and he had the 3 touchdowns rushing, and his big reception set up one of those touchdowns. He was strong. He was strong strong when it was on the line. You're right.
Gage for Garvin. Broken up. Jay Brooks.
Let's take a look at what Jamar Toombs did today. This was the opening drive of the football game that he finalized with a touchdown. Then the offensive line absolutely eclipses the front seven of Missouri, and he has an easy score. On this occasion, really just runs between breaks a couple of tackles right between defenders. Jamar Toombs getting it done on the ground, and of course he had that reception of over 40 yards as well. And you know, the other thing he did, lined up at fullback a few snaps and knocked some heads in blocking as well.
2nd and 10.
Early start by the Missouri line.
I remember when we saw Jamar Toombs last year for the first time as a true freshman. He was the only true freshman to play for R.C. Slocum last year. And we both looked at each other and we said, wow.
Yeah, I mean, big body with very, very good feet. Good quick feet, and he's very agile.
Well, the executive producers for College Football Saturday, Arthur Smith and Bill Borson. The coordinating producer for college football is Roy Hamilton. Today's game has been produced by Robert Steinfeld, directed by Ken Miller, Vice President of Field Operations, Andrea Jenkins. And every week, not only those folks, but our entire crew do a marvelous job. Gage down the middle, good throw. And a pickup of about 14 yards to Garvin.
You know, you look at some of these guys, Gage, Garvin's slow to get up. It's like he's got a little bit of a leg problem. I don't know if he's cramping or something worse than that, but the protection's there. Breakdown late, a little leakage, but Garvin, as he's taking the turf, this the splits a little bit, and looks like he's slow to get up. Gage is throwing the ball pretty darn accurately here in the second half when he's had his opportunities.
4th catch of the game for Travis Garvin. He leads Missouri in receptions with 35.
The thing, I know it's very tough on the Missouri fans right now, down 51-7, having 44 points hung on you in the second half, but the future looks bright for this football team. I mean, they've got some underclassmen that haven't even played this year that have been red-shirted that will make contributions, and young players this year that got on-the-job training.
Gage on a boot.
Wow.
Showing his ability. End zone touchdown. He got it to Eric Spencer, but Justin Gage made that all happen. He avoided 2 would-be sackers and threw a touchdown strike to Eric Spencer.
Well, the first one he avoided was Warren. Big down lineman broke his tackle, and then he showed more elusiveness in the open field, bought some time, and delivered the strike. I mean, that was all Gage. Spencer gets the touchdown reception, but Gage made the play.
Good-looking play by the true freshman. His 2nd touchdown pass of the day. And his stats starting to look pretty solid. 12 of 25, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And with the extra point, it's 51-14.
Well, you talk about escapability. Watch this escapability by Gage. Little play action fake, rolls to his left. Here comes Warren, the down lineman. First he avoids the linebacker, then he avoids Warren back to the inside and buys time to find Spencer. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. Coriat, Warren, touchdown. That's pretty good elusiveness out there on the perimeter by Gage. And then he gets deposited after he throws the football, but he knows it's a touchdown pass. I mean, it's not even close. When he released the football, he knew Spencer was all by his lonesome. There's nobody within 5 yards of him.
3rd touchdown on the season for Eric Spencer. He's a kid that knows all about Aggie tradition. He went to Nimitz High School, great high school down in the Houston area. Here's the updated North Division standings. Missouri will fall to 1-6, 4-6 overall, and no chance at a winning season after 2 winning seasons in a row. It snapped 13 years of losing football, but Larry Smith does have him on the right track. Remaining games, Kansas State and Nebraska, they're underway in Lincoln. Nebraska has 1 more game after the Wildcats. They'll take on Colorado in Boulder. And Colorado leading Baylor last we saw. And of course, they will take on Nebraska at home. Hamrick to kick it off. And we may see the outside job. Here's a little pooch kick.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is still live.
Yes, it is.
And I think the Aggies were able to fall on it.
Some serious English on that ball. Talk about backspin.
Here's the South Division updated with the victory for the Aggies. They're 4-3, 7-3 overall. Despite some of the unrest in College Station and 2 bad losses, 7-3. Most schools would love to trade with Texas A&M.
A&M first and 10 from the 33.
Texas has the Red Raiders tonight, and then the Aggies. Texas Tech will finish at home against Oklahoma. We may see that one right here. And Oklahoma at Iowa State today. And in Lubbock next week. You made a great point about Larry Smith. Playing a lot of young players. You have growing pains, but this is going to pay off in the next couple of years. I imagine they will be right back in the thick of things in the North Division. New quarterback Vance Smith. He's a redshirt freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas. He's 5 of 14 this year in limited opportunity.
I don't think he'll get a chance to throw the ball today at all. But he gets an opportunity to get the taste of the action on the road.
Big guy, 6'4", 235.
Linebacker size.
And they go to the fullback, Stacy Jones.
You know, when you look at Missouri, the injury to Kirk Farmer against Iowa State really set this football team back. There's no question about it because the ripple effect was huge. Put a lot more pressure on the remaining quarterbacks, and a lot more pressure on the offensive line, and the offense kind of went in reverse after Farmer's broken leg.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. 3rd and 3. Could be the final snap.
Okay, I got Randy.
They go toss sweep, and Bernard picks up a couple of yards. And they have stopped the clock. Though everybody in the stand, more than 57,000.
First down.
That's why. Yeah. First down. Most of them have departed today. 51-14 is the score. The Aggies will now let it run out.
A lot of empty seats, or fans dressed as empty seats right now in the stadium.
Jamar Toombs was terrific. It was close at halftime, 7-0, but the Aggies bounced back today after being shut out a week ago. An impressive blowout win at Missouri, and our BMW play of the game. This was early in the 3rd quarter. Bethel Johnson behind the secondary. Great delivery from Randy McCown. And McCown, he's been out of the game for so long. He had a solid effort today.
He really did. He completed a decent percentage for over a couple hundred yards and threw touchdown passes. Very solid day. Compliment that running game.
And Texas A&M, I'm sure will give Texas this year again all they want. Toombs got it done today. Dave, enjoyed it.
Drew, a ton of fun all year long.
Well, plan to join us next Saturday, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 on the West Coast for our final Big 12 telecast of the season, either from Lubbock or Manhattan, Kansas. Now for our entire crew and my partners Dave Lapham and Jim Knox, I'm Drew Goodman saying so long from Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri. Texas A&M improves to 7-3 with a 51-14 win over Larry Smith's Missouri Tigers. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you next week.